Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of the GLP Report podcast. This is our season 2 premiere. And,
Two? I thought it was season 3.
No, it's season 2. We don't count season 1 because it was with the other guys.
Oh, the other studio?
You know, let's not sugarcoat it. Anyways, this is a good start. We are back to the original gang.
Really? It actually is.
Right? Because, so David at Disney can't be with us tonight because he's, like, out somewhere.
He's not
But
at
not at
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah.
But not at Disney. Yeah,
David at some restaurant, probably.
David at restaurant. And, but, yeah, I am joined today by Jeff from GLP Town Square.
Hello.
Hey. And,
I tried to be happy.
yes, good. Oh, we said we were going to be happy tonight and not be a gloomy podcast about gloomy days. So,
But isn't that our speciality? Like,
well, we've been trying. So, a little bit of background. We've been trying to start this show for half an hour between technical problems and laughter. We are
trying a new
finally on the air.
we're so used to being live. It's actually so much easier to put on a live show. Who would have thought?
It is, yeah. But we have better audio quality. We have new music, which you haven't heard, but you will. And you know, it's just, yeah.
Well, they would have heard it
So,
by
anyways, Elliot from Elliot. Hello.
now. Hey.
Hi. And Richie from Richie Disney and Disney
Hello.
Golf, because I will never let it go.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
It'll follow me
Anyways.
till I die.
Yeah. Well, don't clap because that means I have to line up the audio.
There was a fly.
You need one of those, like, zapper things, like the tennis rackets. That, like,
Oh, yeah.
Right. So we are obviously recording remotely, but we can all see each other, which is, I think,
For the fact we've never, yeah.
which is
We've never done
fun
that before.
for
For the whole live
interactions.
show, we couldn't see anyone.
So,
Which is fun for everyone apart from the people listening.
Yeah.
I think like I used to just be like staring at Twitter or something, even though
Yeah.
literally nothing was happening because the parks were closed for about 6 years.
And everyone was listening to the show from Twitter, so no
Yeah,
tweeting about our show.
So now I can see Elliot's crazy hair, and which has been brought under control though.
I've been working from home all day, so that's
Yeah,
why
but
I've done my
you know
hair.
you look like you know the mayor from Zootopia. Yeah. And
The villain, the
yes.
sheep. Oh.
Oh, I remember him.
I watched
And
Utopia the other
and I
day.
can also see Richie roll his eyes, and you know,
In real time.
in real time. Yeah. Anyways, so much has happened since our last podcast, which we recorded at Disneyland Park, right? Was that the last episode?
Yeah, we were sat
I
on a
think
bench in
I was-
Frontierland.
Yeah.
I was not in this episode.
No, because you were busy with like people.
I was there,
and-
but not there.
I think like
Exactly.
literally as we finished recording, you had to run home, right? And I had to run to Captain Jack's.
Yeah, I had to run home, right? Maybe?
Yeah, I ran to Captain Jack's.
You were like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm not going to book too many days in case it's boring.
Well, I was there for 5 days.
And I was there for like 8.
But I mean, to be honest, so the structure for tonight, I thought we could do past, present, and future. So we're gonna look back at everything that's happened since the opening, and then we'll talk about the present, which is Halloween, and all the new things the new things, the changes that have been that are happening currently, and then in part 3 we'll talk about the future, which is obviously uncertain, but we'll try our best with what we know and what we think is going to happen for the rest of the year and for next year. So, reopening. I think we won
Oh, I had a great
yeah.
time. A great
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Paris. I think. I mean, obviously, not all the parks are open. And
I can't believe California's still
Some,
shut.
some have
Well, I
reopened
know.
twice.
Jesus, some reopened twice. Although the second time that Hong Kong reopened,
No,
it was
they
just kind of
literally
like.
opened. I think they were
Yeah, like
embarrassed.
I think like
Yeah.
nothing happened. I haven't seen I've seen a few photos of the castle and stuff like that, but
I actually forgot, and then I remember sitting there like going, "Oh yeah, wait, Hong Kong opened today."
That's the only thing with Hong Kong, though. We don't get like that much Hong Kong content in our feeds.
Yeah. I had to
I
wait.
think Shanghai is the one we get the least.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just
actually,
that one
no,
girl.
because there's that one girl who like,
And she's very
viciously
consistent.
lost
Yeah,
on
yeah.
She's
Dong
amazing.
Dong. Dong Dong.
Yeah, she's awesome. But even
I had to
Hong
wait-
Kong, like, it's
I had to
really
wait
hard.
5 days for a picture of the Arundel construction update that I was hoping was going to be there on day
Yeah.
1. So I was very upset.
But there was also the kind of weird thing with Shanghai, like you hear nothing, and then someone started bottling someone instead, and
Was that like now, because if that was
Yeah,
now,
I think it was
She
now.
like live tweets. I think it's now.
I couldn't see
Someone
any
started
Mars.
what?
Oh,
So there was like
someone
a
was
kid
on.
Go on,
It was
Richie.
like, it wasn't even a kid. It was like a fully grown woman was on someone's shoulders during Ignite the Dream. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like she was like filming, sat on someone's shoulders. Some guy at like 10 people back just throws a bottle at her head. And then the woman on the shoulders turns around and just punches someone in the crowd, completely the wrong person. Like,
What is this, a music festival?
I was gonna say it's like being at a Metallica gig, but like at Shanghai Disneyland watching Ignite the Dream.
Weird.
Yeah, I retweeted it. I quote tweeted it. So if you scroll back after you listen to this, like 3 or 4 days, it's worth.
But the funny thing was that
looking at
people
this
who were
video. It's so
were
funny.
replying and going like, "Oh, this brings back memories." So it must happen all the time.
It's Shanghai. Like anything
Yeah.
goes in Shanghai.
You
I
can
mean,
poop in the bushes.
to be honest,
so.
There's kids pooping everywhere. There's like.
I'm surprised this hasn't happened in Paris.
Right.
I think it kind of does sometimes. I think.
But we
maybe
managed
not
to
to that
avoid the
extent,
people
but-
pooping in the bushes. Like, we avoided
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
It might
haven't
happen
yet.
now because
Yeah.
they're closing the toilets, but
Yeah.
Fair.
They're,
more on this later.
They're hardening pixie dust for a refurbishment. Use the correct language.
So yeah, but I mean, yeah, in terms of reopening, I think Paris did so great. I
Yeah.
have such great memories from reopening weekend, reopening week.
And we were the only
like,
park that did previews. Or did Disney World do
Yeah.
previews?
Disney
Yeah.
World did
Yeah.
previews.
They did, yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah. But I
just, I
mean,
think
it was a bit disorganized.
Yeah, our whole production side of it and things like that, and what was
Yeah.
prepared for it. And
the
what they
special
did,
events team at DLP are very talented.
They are indeed. We stand. We love them.
Yeah, and I mean, it's funny. I think Disneyland Paris always like strives in adversity. It's like, you know, when
They're like,
when
yeah, we're gonna do whatever
when things are
we
great,
want.
nothing ever happens, and the
Yeah.
product is sort of like average. And then all of a sudden, there's a pandemic, closures, and everything, and the park reopens, and like everything has been repainted, and they've adapted the entertainment in such a great way. I mean, obviously, it is not the same, but like all the selfie spots, all the
Right.
you
Like,
know,
in Disney World, characters are like Winnie the Pooh, like a mile away on a hill. That is the
Oh,
character.
no,
Or
that's so
Joy.
embarrassing.
Or
Yeah.
like Donald Duck on a boat. Like, you couldn't feasibly... And then they're posting all these celebrities that are going to the parks and getting the
Yeah.
selfie spot experience that you can get in Disneyland Paris. Like,
weird.
A lot of other
Yeah.
parks have like copied Paris. If you look at the timeline of when like what parks did before Paris and then after Paris, like a lot of them have taken on board what Paris did and like incorporated that. So like Tokyo, when it reopened, their character offering was like really limited, like really limited. They didn't do selfie spots, like nothing. But then slowly they started to like get the selfie spots a bit like DLP. And same with
With the
Disney World,
ropes
when
and
they
that,
reopened,
yeah.
they had like Joy and Winnie the Pooh walking around some grass in Epcot, and it was just
Oh, yeah.
like it was just embarrassing. Like it was so bad. There's nothing.
They still
to
do it. No.
Yeah, I know it's so bad. Like
it was
Pooh's
cute for
still,
the
like,
first
running
day.
around.
Like, they
it's
gave him
so
a little
out of
net.
character. Like
Yeah.
why is Joy running around like the lawns of Future World? Like why?
But they
'Cause
gave
she's
Winnie the Pooh a
joyful.
little net and he
Oh.
was catching the butterflies. That
Oh,
was
it's
cute.
it's garbage. But then
I
like
thought
they've
it was
slowly started to
bad.
move to selfie spots and things like that, and like the waving on the train station. They didn't do
That
that
is
before
cute.
Paris. It's kind of like
Oh, really?
yeah. So
Yeah.
Paris really set the trend for a lot of like things that other parks have seen and like adapted to, which I think is really
Well, also I feel like in Paris they had all these cast members to occupy. They needed
Yeah,
to
of
put
course.
them somewhere, and so they were like, okay,
let's do
let's
something.
just put six
honestly-
characters on a train station
Yeah.
for 3 hours. That will keep them busy.
At this point in time, there was nothing more that I would want from that experience. Like, I wasn't even there going, oh, well, they could do this and do that, because everything they feasibly could do was being done.
were doing.
And they even added on it 2 weeks later with the tricycles and sort of
Yeah.
stuff like
Yeah.
that.
built on it really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they even brought back face characters by putting the princesses on the carriage with actual real horses, despite what happened to poor Merida.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Ah,
yeah.
That
was a
felt
while
like
back.
about 2 years ago, but it was
Yeah.
about a month.
Yeah, and that was like, you know, that was like such a big story back then, and now we're like, oh, it's just a horse that turned, you know.
No, but I thought it was during COVID. It was one of...
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Was it after reopening?
Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
their, like, procession.
Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
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 It was because like a kid's
So-
balloon like flew out onto the street or something. It spooked the horse.
Yeah, so even though it felt like it was about 3 years ago, it was actually about 2 months.
Yeah, genuinely, it was. Like,
Well, everything feels so long ago. I mean,
I've lost
when
the
you think
concept of
about
time.
You think about like when the parks closed and everything on that weird night that we were strangely all together. I think no.
Yeah,
Maybe?
we were. Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching Frozen 2.
We were watching Frozen 2 and then the parks closed.
But that was the weird thing because it was the RER that like tweeted it. It was just, and I think they
Oh,
even just like
yeah,
wrote
the
something
RER.
like they just wrote like
Don't get me started
park-
with that.
They wrote like Disney parks closed, or we're like,
What?
huh? Just for the day? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, that part didn't improve. But anyways, since then, there's been some great times in the park. I mean, the selfie spot recipe got really used everywhere. We got the Marvel superheroes. We got Meet Mickey. I must say, Meet Mickey is one of my favorite places to go.
It's
like,
magical.
reusing that stage, because remember, it used to be only cartoons, and now they're just on the stage. And like the first time I walked in there, I was literally emotional because it was like the very first day of
And
the
they
very
were
first
playing
preview.
like the Let the Magic Shine overtone as you walked in, and it was like,
yeah, that
think
was so nice.
The thing that got me was walking onto the stage of Mickey and the Magician, though. That was amazing and so
That's what
fun.
we just said.
No, Ben was talking about Meet
I'm
Mickey.
talking about Meet Mickey.
Oh,
You started
sorry.
going
I
on
was
about Let the Magic Shine. I'm like,
in my
I just went with it.
because you said Studio Theatre, I thought you then talking.
no,
about
he said Meet
yeah.
Mickey.
Well, the Marvel Studio Theater.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, and honestly, like all the markers and everything, I'm so used to it, and I feel super safe in Paris. I went to Halloween launch weekend, which we'll talk about in part 2, and nothing has changed. Like, it feels just as safe, and days go by as usual, and I mean, I don't hate that experience. People are far away from you, and it's good even in non-pandemic times.
Yeah.
And the queues are short. Obviously, in the past few weeks, we've seen a lot of changes because, well, attendance is now coming back. So they have a good pandemic experience going, but still people cannot get there, or people don't want to get there.
It's
or
a shame
people
because their
also-
safety measures are actually quite top notch in terms of the investment they made. But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it is a choice to have 2 weeks quarantine. I'm going through it right now because I went to a Halloween launch weekend. But for me, I work from home, and so for me, it's worth it to just.
But for their main clientele, it's really not, because there's families with kids who have to go to school.
Exactly. Kids have to go to school, and some people have jobs that they have to be on site, and obviously, and some people just don't think it's worth it at this point. They'd rather wait to get the full experience back, and there's lots of reasons, but, basically, attendance is super low. So, Hotel Cheyenne had to reclose. There was this whole calendar of hotel openings. We're supposed to get so many hotels back.
It's like super ambitious. Like
Disneyland Hotel was supposed to come back September. Cheyenne and Santa Fe opened like late July, early August, and now Cheyenne has reclosed, and now there's only 2 hotels, which is insane. And those 2 hotels are actually not full at all.
No, they are.
Some
also
weekend
empty.
nights have like 50
Double
rooms
digits.
at Newport Bay Club, which is just like insane. I
That
mean,
hotel
it's
has
just
like
insane.
what, 2,000 rooms? 4,000?
It's
1,000.
1,190 something.
just
and it's not. And the thing is, like, it is not the result's fault. Like, the offering is as good as it can be, and cast members are great. Everyone's in great spirits, and everyone's really trying their best.
It's just unfortunate
just
when
people-
your target audience is a continent instead of a country. It makes it
But
slightly more difficult.
Exactly.
But I also think even before all the quarantine started coming in, so you look at July when things were pretty good, I think, in France. People weren't going. You could get park reservations really, really easily. So even before like the second wave that we're in now, like people just did not feel comfortable with the whole idea of traveling right now. And
I think
there's a reduced experience, and people, if you're going to save up for your one trip to Disney, do you want it to be now? Probably not.
No, I mean, obviously, we as fans are a completely different audience, and we're a niche audience. We're not the main audience of the resort. We go because we just like to be there and walk around and see our favorite place and just be in the magic. And so for us, I think it's just, we'll just make the effort of going. And also we have many friends at the resort and we have many reasons to go, and it is what it is. But exactly, if you're a family and you go for your big trip with your entire family once a year, it might not be your priority to travel. You might not want to have to deal with all those measures with an entire family and all this. So yeah, I understand why people don't want to go. It is super fun though, so if you can go, I would say go, but it's just me. So yeah, they've closed a lot of shops. They've reduced restaurant hours, and starting today actually, Walt Disney Studios is open 11 to 4. Which
this has to be some sort of record for the shortest parks operating day.
It has to be. Even back when Animal Kingdom was only a half day
it was still
park.
like 9 till 4.
That's not even 6 hours. That's 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's just for the people who are there. They can go in and do the attractions in an hour and leave. Like,
there is not enough to sustain people for a whole day, but it's crazy.
Of course, we haven't even spoken about the Jungle Book Jive and Rhythms of the Pride Lands.
Right.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
So yeah, that happened. So we got Rhythms of Pride Lands. That. So we got Rhythms of Pride Lands for 2 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Intermittently.
That was great.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 1 week, and then things happened. Technical difficulties happened.
Yeah.
That's what they called it.
Technical difficulties in performers' bodies happened.
It is exactly. It is. Yeah, we're on the podcast. We can say more things than on Twitter. And it's hard, and I think it's a very difficult situation, and we shouldn't put the blame on anyone. I think it's just everyone's trying to do their best.
It was very ambitious to begin with.
With that said, I was thinking that maybe Disney should have looked into, and I'm sure maybe it's not possible under the law or some shit like that, or to offer the cast to stay at a Disney hotel.
Yeah.
For the duration of the show. Yeah. And
I also think
have their own room and not leave the resort, and trying to tell them not to mix too much with other people, and to only see their families from time to time and all this and that. So you can try to contain the casts. And I know it's not cool, but also it's a pandemic, and so do you want a job for 2 months? And
they were given the opportunity as some of the only performers in the world at the moment to actually perform in the show. So it's like living on a cruise ship.
But I think
somewhere there's been some fuck up somewhere in the crew and cast and this and that, because also it extended to the Jungle Book Jive, which could not even open because of it. And sure, Disney is being extra careful. If there's one case, then everyone has to quarantine for 2 weeks, because they just don't want that kind of PR. And it became too much, I think, for Jungle Book Jive, because they tried, and they actually, the night before it opened, they reworked all night the entire show to exclude a whole team of dancers that had to be removed from the show. And they worked really hard on it, and still the next day it was not cleared, and so they just pulled the plug on everything.
But I think when you look at Pride Lands, the way it came back, I think my biggest issue there was that they didn't even try to adapt it a little bit to include some distancing. It was still as close as it always was, and so you're always going to have that.
You mean on stage?
So it was exactly the same show. Whereas you look at a lot of the theatres that are planning to reopen here in the UK, for instance, they're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And just
and also, there was a bit of controversy in the audience as well, because they thought, maybe they were getting a bit confident because reopening had gone really well.
Yeah.
But they did not leave an empty row between each row.
It was just the reason, 2 lines or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the reason for that, they were saying we're just doing the same as they do in the movie theaters in France. I'm like, but this is not the standard across Europe, and this is not the standard for Disney.
And
There's
in the
safety
movie
measures.
theaters, it's unlikely the theater's going to be full because before the pandemic, you would rarely go
Right,
to a full
exactly.
cinema.
Right, like in August on a weekend at Disneyland Paris for the Lion King show, you can pretty much assume that every show is going to be filled. So they fixed it quite quickly, which is good.
Yeah,
but
it was like 2
sadly,
days, I think, or the day after. or
Yeah,
something.
but sadly, then the show was cancelled. So
I just think
it's a little bit sad. I mean, the whole back of Frontierland now is completely empty. The show was supposed to go until November, so it was going to run through Halloween, and Cowboy Cookout was going to stay open because then people would go over there. And now as a result, even like Mickey and Minnie, who are back there currently, no one goes to see them. Like I was there launch weekend, and literally, I went a few times to see them again because I felt bad. They were just hanging out with their ACCs and chilling.
I think
Are
in
we
the
going
grand,
to tour?
in the
Sorry, go
grand
ahead.
scheme of things, like no one would have been mad at them if they hadn't tried to bring these shows back. I think
Right.
it's great that they tried, but maybe it was it ever going to be feasible? Like I don't think there would have been complaints they didn't try and bring it back. I think people would have been pretty understanding if they did have to cancel the shows.
Yeah.
I
I think like the Lion King show, it was a nice try and it was a good idea. Rhythm of the Pride Lands, I mean, I don't know. I don't know because it was so many things. They
would have
spray
been
painted
better
the
to-
Motel Axial stage in
Yeah,
green.
I was going to come on
They
to
built
that.
some new stages. They
They built that giant
destroyed-
tent to store all the
They
floats.
destroyed the Parrots and Princesses floats.
Yeah.
The parrot float for Pirates and Princesses is now basically transformed into some kind of Jungle Book Drive
Yeah.
pirate
Trampoline, yeah.
Yeah.
trampoline pirate ship, which is so now they don't have that float anymore, and it was never used. But of course, I appreciate the effort, and I think from the few people that I've managed to see the rehearsals and stuff, it was actually really
Really
great,
good.
from what I hear.
Yeah.
So
That's a really sad
too
one,
bad.
I think.
Yeah.
But
But not
the
the
stage
show
of
once.
Motor Action is destroyed basically now. So
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna be
mean,
anyway, like they're gonna bull.
mean,
yeah,
you know,
it was, but Disney never said anything about that. So you can
Well, they're
assume
supposed
that
to.
that's-
They are supposed to, and
They
I don't
released the
know-
article
PS2,
saying the history of Motors Action, and that's the hint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our article, and I mean, like, I thought it was going to be pretty timely, but I'm still waiting, But I mean, I have the, the tweet is ready, and,
in the drafts.
and like, I don't know.
I mean, you
But I
might
don't
as well just
understand-
press send. To be fair,
Well,
we-
yeah, they released that picture of the stage where you can clearly see that everything's been spray painted. So there
Oh,
is
they did
no
not
you-
way.
release-
so
of
they
did
did-
not-
they did not release that
They did not
picture.
release. That guy got into a lot of trouble.
yeah.
No, they
did
released
not.
something later, didn't they?
They did
no,
not.
no.
Nothing got released officially from that.
No,
Nothing.
it was kind of a close call for even us to post it because it had leaked everywhere. But like the guy was kind of like, oh, I don't know.
Oh, no.
It's like yeah,
Common sense,
because then the
people.
guy contacted us and was like, oh, that's my photo, and I'm like, yeah, it's on like every single fan page. Everywhere.
Have you opened Twitter?
Yeah, so like we can remove it, but it's still going to be on another like 20 different sites. Like everyone has it, and it's something about like it's the internet. You cannot delete anything on the internet. Like once it's online for like 3
A
minutes.
lesson
Like,
to learn tonight.
when I tweet crap, like David always comes back and sends me a screenshot of it. I don't know how he gets it every time, but
Sorry. I just dropped my metal water bottle.
It sounded like a glass smashing. Your vase.
Yeah.
so yeah, as we've learned, don't post anything on the internet that you don't want to stay forever because it will.
Back to haunt you.
But anyways, going back to Rhythms of Pride, and I hope that everything is sorted. Well, everything. I hope things are sorted a little bit more by next summer, and we can have the real experience back in Disneyland Park with.
They should have just done it similar to the Halloween floats now and just sort of played on our way and had them driving down in the cars.
That's what I
And
expected.
made-
That's what was going to happen.
That's what I expected. Yeah. That would have been
Yeah.
enough. Just a single float
Yeah.
of like Mickey.
Just get the four, the
little
four
floats, yeah.
vehicles and
Uh-huh.
put the characters in it, and then just drive
enough.
them along. Yeah, they can actually be on their way to the other parade gates.
For once.
I'm on my way to Fantasyland.
Oh, that would be
I think
funny.
it would have worked.
Yeah.
It'd be cute, and they're cute ride vehicles. And remember that tweet that we did when it was raining really hard?
Oh my god!
And the vehicles,
that was so
those
funny.
are like newer vehicles that were built, that were
Yeah.
purpose built for the show. So they have new engines, and those things, I'm pretty sure you
cool.
could put them on the
Mario
highway,
Kart,
and
yeah.
they wouldn't slow down traffic. So they go pretty fast, and they could totally and if I mean, I don't know if it shows on the videos of Halloween, but those Halloween floats, man, they go fast. Like sometimes when I take the turn by Castle Stage, I'm like, oh boy, that manor is gonna tip over.
It really like wobbles.
It's like,
I feel
okay,
sorry.
all right.
The poor rope
Mickey
carrier-
on top is like holding on to the
carrier people
to the
behind them
barricade.
are like jogging.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, and kudos to the guest flows who basically they can't even hang out outside the gate, because then that will tip off people that something is coming.
Yeah.
So they really come out at the last second and sort of like blend in with the crowd. Like they try to be sly, and they're like la 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 la, la. And like all of a sudden the music starts, and like soon as the music starts, the door open and this thing just like slams through the door, and it was like whoa, and you get like those like 5 guest flows in front who are like move, and then people are like what?
And they're walking down with like those bizarre signs.
Ein Meter,
Yeah.
Distanzphysik.
Yeah, but I mean, it works, and it's worked also for like obviously before Halloween and everything. They did all the Main Street vehicles, which was super fun. Like the fire truck, thank you to the person who fixed who got the fire truck fixed, because that thing is getting so much use.
I feel so sorry for the poor Mickey and Minnie who had to hear that song. So for the whole.
And you know who else? I have a friend who works at Emporium, and she was like, all the doors are open, and if you're at the front till, like on the Times Square side, that thing turns on at 8 and doesn't turn off till 11. That is 4 hours of one song in loop forever.
I
Can
hate
you
that
imagine?
song now.
So I thought it was kind of fun, but even
For the
on that
first 2
reopening weekend, like if you sat on Town Square for like 15-20 minutes, you're like, okay, I'm done with this now.
Yeah. They still play it for the Tricycle Gang,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
which makes
is now
no
with-
sense.
which is now with Woody and Jesse. And
Well, it's not like they could play Stars on
Happy
Parade
Halloween.
anymore.
I just want to be like, so okay, so wait, so in July and August and September,
And October.
it was Stitch with his with his stupid palm trees.
Yeah.
And it was really great to see it
There used to
for
be
the
the
first
Moana
few weeks,
part.
but then I was kind of like, okay, every day Stitch.
But then doesn't Stitch come on their surveys as like the most popular character? or
he
whatever?
That's what it's
does,
for.
yeah.
It's all about the surveys.
No, well that's stupid.
Yeah.
Because clearly they have all the cards. Like, what other cards do they have? You guys are good at those things.
Mulan and Mushu.
Yeah. Oh, well.
The genie.
Well, the question is, which ones do they still have?
Yeah, well, they used that one on New Year's
They
Eve.
have a
all of
lot
them.
of them.
The genie
Remember
one.
when they used to do?
They destroyed
to do
the
New Year's
Mickey
at
and
the
Minnie
studio.
one.
Aladdin and
Mickey
Jasmine
Minnie's
haven't made an
destroyed.
appearance since
We
reopening.
stole them from
Put them in
Hollywood
a genie
Studios and never
car.
gave them back.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't planning on giving them back. That
Yeah, they're
parade
from
was
Hollywood
done.
Studios.
Yeah, they
yeah,
were, but
yeah.
we didn't plan on giving them back. That parade was done.
When it comes in Paris, it's staying in Paris.
To be fair,
No, we gave back
destroyed.
the Main Street Electrical Parade, and then
I was gonna
No,
say
we gave it to Hong Kong, and then it never appeared in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
that's the thing that happened. But we gave it away.
Yeah,
I wish we didn't.
That was in the Euro Disney era. Like,
Yeah.
No, that wasn't.
no, but like that
Well,
era.
it was because it was Disneyland Paris because that's right when I was a kid. There.
Not by
It was
namesake.
the Disneyland Resort Paris
Yeah,
era
that's the one.
DLRP. DL. Yeah.
when like they randomly
Anyways.
decided that the R was essential.
Yeah.
Well, I like.
We're a resort now.
I like to call it a resort because it is a resort.
I like Disneyland
Right.
Paris Resort.
Right? I like Disneyland
Right.
Paris Resort.
But they kind of did
and
this
in a
weird
lot of my
thing
tweets,
where
I say the resort because when you say the resort, that means the parks, the hotel, and just
Notre
like
destination.
exactly.
But
the
they kind of
destination.
did. They did the weird thing where they were like, okay, well now we have 2 parks. I guess we're a resort. What you weren't before? You had 7 hotels.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the Parks blog have just decided that it's Disneyland Paris Resort, and that's all that they will refer it to as that every time.
Yeah, it is. That's what they
Well, you
always
know,
call
they
it.
used to call it Disneyland Resort Paris because
Yeah.
because they thought, oh, it's going to sound like Disneyland in California, and that would give it like this extra shine or something. But like Europeans are like, huh?
Yeah.
Like the-
Well, I think
I
they
don't
wanted
know,
to end the perception that Disney you go to for the day, you know, because that's what a lot of Europeans are like. Oh yeah, we go to Disney for the day, type of thing.
yeah, but how adding resort is not really like Disneyland Resort
They,
Paris.
they
That
haven't
just
had
doesn't
many
make
other
sense.
clever ideas.
Other
let's be
places
honest.
do that though. Like Legoland changed its name to Legoland Resort. Like,
yeah.
Oh, if you ever go to Thorpe Park, they call it
Resort.
Thorpe
Yeah.
Park Resort. And
Yeah.
like, when you're in the park, they always go, "Enjoy your day at the Thorpe Park Resort." It's like, come on, you're like a 5-hour park at best.
yeah.
with a crate hotel. Literally.
So, anyways, Stitch is gone, and now it's like Woody and Jesse on their car, and I'm like, how many other cars do they have? Can we not have a different
But I
car?
mean, like,
today?
honestly, I think the design of that car is awkward for Woody. Like, he's like weirdly like.
Oh yeah,
I wish you could see.
He's like
me.
on a pillow,
But he's
yeah,
like lean.
sitting-
He's like slanted, and his legs look like flexible. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is what it is. But you know what I thought they would do is I thought they would throw Stars on Parade floats on the route. But I
I
guess
feel
maybe
like they're
too big.
I feel like they're too big,
soon,
and they're
too
not
big.
allowed to play the music anymore.
Too soon.
Yeah. They're too soon.
Too soon? I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
feel like the Frozen float could take like a nice.
No, I
drive
feel like the
by.
Frozen float from the show would be better because it's slightly smaller. And it's
That was,
like,
that was
yeah.
a nice float too. Plus, I
Yeah.
really just want to see Sven. Like,
Yeah, but you know that means that Sven would be dead at the back, like he's
Yeah.
dead at Animation Celebration because they can't put the puppeteers inside him. Oh wait, am I
It's
am
a
I breaking
puppet.
the magic?
It's
his
a puppet.
Sorry.
It's a
friends.
puppet.
His friends.
It's a
Right.
puppet.
if you've made it this far,
Yeah, exactly. If you're listening to the show, chances are you know how things work. But yeah, I mean, they can't put the puppeteers in them, not because of COVID, but because they all got fired.
Yeah, because money.
So yeah, I mean, just
Yeah.
like all the Motor Action guys, I guess are gone because the show's
Oh,
never
yeah.
returning. And
Buffalo
pretty sure the
Bill,
Wild
Ice
West
Cage.
show people are gone as well because I'm pretty sure that show also
They are.
isn't returning.
They're now in
They are.
Emily. They're now
gone.
starring it. They're in supporting
Yeah.
roles in Emily in Paris. Not even lying.
So that arena must be like just is going to be closed for the next 10 years now until they figure out something to do with it.
I mean,
I
like I
don't
feel like for
that's
like
a
the
really
last
easy
15
area.
years,
It's going to become the M&M store
yeah, with Coca, yeah.
or something
Like
like that.
Coca-Cola
The
freestyle.
store.
it's perfectly set up. Like, because you got that middle section, it's perfectly set up to be like a really kind of, well, a better version of Disney on Ice.
Yeah,
I
totally.
really want that. I really want
I
that.
know. I want Cirque du Soleil, the actual Disney one that actually could be quite
Yeah,
promising.
yeah, bring Cirque du Soleil back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I mean, you
projection
know, they
mapping
registered. They have registered the name of the new Disney Spring show. They've registered a name in Europe.
Well-
I forget what it's called.
Well, you know the dome. The dome was built for Cirque du
For
Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
one in one of their many bankruptcies.
Now it's where the Inside Ears party happens.
And run Disney check-in.
Do you remember, like, for fan days, they were like, well, you have to go pick up your ticket at the dome. And you
Yeah.
just walked in, and they had this massive queue set up. And they never used it. Like, you just
Never
walked up
went
and
to
just
fan
grabbed your ticket. It was
Yeah.
the most pointless thing. Like, oh, please,
Well, I mean, you can't.
please go
you
to the
can't
other
blame
side of
them.
the resort to pick
You
up your
can't
ticket.
blame them for actually
Anticipating tomorrow.
anticipating, like guest flow. That is something they usually never do.
But all I had to do was get a wristband from them, and I was checked into a hotel. Couldn't the hotel just give me my wristband?
Lack of communication.
Oh, Jeff, you're asking way too
If
much.
possible.
You asking way too much.
But
Talking about, let's
they
talk
gave-
about
they
online
gave me
check-in.
everything.
Oh
else.
right, oh yeah.
Segway.
Let's talk about online check-in at the Disney hotels coming very soon. We don't know when.
No, yeah. It was meant to be
That is
there in
all-
time for the reopening, but it got delayed.
Well, hello, it's October.
But apparently
There's
it's
only
ready.
2 hotels.
They just have to train the cast. And
You mean like the 4 people that work at the 2
Yeah.
hotels that are open right now? Oh. Yeah, I mean that's cool because honestly, like waiting in line to take a new Disney hotel, like that is not part of the experience. Like I want to.
But I'm just wondering how it's going to work because you're still
Well,
going to
we're
have to
not
go to
gonna
the
have-
desk, but it will just be
Yeah.
quicker.
It would be
Yeah,
quicker.
because you'll have a separate desk for mobile check-in, and you'll just come in and probably just show your confirmation barcode or something. And
The
it'll
amount
just-
of times I've filled out my phone number and email address, like, why is this so hard?
Oh, it's ridiculous.
But I feel like that's like a lot of time when you book from not directs.
No,
I feel if you book
but
direct,
you know-
No,
You book
have it.
direct.
No?
every time.
You know what's going to happen is like you're going to show up, they'll scan the barcode, and then they'll have to type in some random codes on their DOS system. Like,
No,
1 second.
no,
No, 'cause they've changed
they're on
it.
Opera Cloud. When I
No,
checked
they-
in,
yeah.
so can I
They've
talk
changed it
about...
to Opera. Yeah.
Let's talk about
Okay.
my story time. So I stayed at
Oh,
Newport
boy.
for the reopening, and it was the best experience I've ever had at Disneyland Paris Hotel. They
Because no one
were
was there.
all no, it was packed. It was packed. It was the first day, but now
Check
with this
my
open,
one resort guest in.
whatever.
I was
Oh,
there.
you're here!
I'm trying to be positive.
He rolled up at 8 a.m. and they went, "Ooh, person."
So no, it was
I forgot
quite
that
busy.
they look like.
So with this Opera Cloud, they have an iPad app. So they actually had people stationed all over the check-in. They had the magic cards in their pocket. They could type in your name on the iPad, hit check-in, scan your card on the back of the magic pass, hand it to you, and the whole thing took 5 minutes.
Oh.
Wow.
I was very impressed.
But I remember once turning up to Cheyenne and saying, "Oh, can I add somebody onto the room?" And they went to the back and grabbed a ring binder. started looking through the ring binder for the instructions on how to do it.
Oh no. Who's
But now, like, you're-
hiring these roles? Like,
Well, no, that was just because it was DOS.
No, boy.
But when
I
they came
know,
back, and
but
it wasn't
train
even
people on the
one of those
system.
thin. It wasn't the thin ring binders. It was like the massive fat thing. As well.
The how-to binder.
DOS for idiots.
Well, it's funny. Like, it's insane that, again, DLP thrives in adversity. Like, it's insane that all those technology things are now popping up. Like, all the menus are online.
Oh,
and
this
updates,
pandemic
and
has been the best thing
we
that's
can
ever happened
book
for the technology.
restaurants. Exactly. So restaurant booking is now in the app for all markets, and this all happened.
And it links
like-
your Disney account, and you can cancel and modify the reservation, and
Yeah.
like
They do
I
need
mean-
to. They do need to work a little bit on their English.
yeah, but I'll take it.
I mean, we can't be difficult at this point.
So like obviously a few people
I
were
want to book a table.
let go from Disneyland Paris before they reopened, and they hired a new role, which was the vice president of technology. And whoever this guy is, I'd love to take him out for dinner because the amount of stuff he seemed to get done in the last 3 months. We've had the app redesign, we've had the bookings in the app, we now have the standby pass.
Well,
know,
the app's barely redesigned.
Disney
Come on.
account. Oh yeah, but it was better than what it was. I was reading through.
Low bar.
Yeah, but can we
It's a
just
low
say
bar.
right? We talk about this app when it's bad, but now the amount of stuff they've added in the last 3 months has been very impressive. And it's stuff that should have been there 5 years ago. But someone has obviously come in and finally found out what wasn't working in that team and has cracked the whip, and now stuff is coming
I'll tell you
every
what,
other
working
week.
The team.
Yeah.
But there's a few problems that are still there, and the most annoying one is, well, there's
whole
actually a
UI.
few. The UI is terrible. Like, it's really actually quite difficult to find the wait times unless you know the app. There's a tab called Buy. A Disney Park app should never have a Buy tab. Like, it should
Most
just
tickets, but at the moment you can't buy tickets in the app because you need a reservation, so it's a bit anticlimactic.
no. You can buy tickets.
No, it takes you to the website. Before
yeah.
it would
yeah, they
before-
turned it off for some reason.
Before it let you actually buy a ticket and gave you the
Yeah.
QR code in the app,
Yeah.
which was quite neat, but obviously very
Yeah.
useless because most people aren't buying their tickets on the day.
There's
Yeah, I don't
standby
understand
pass.
why they started with that one,
Yeah.
being like, oh yeah, this will be the most useful one.
Yeah, and like for some bizarre reason, one of the top 3 options when you log in and you're not in the resort, it tries to get you to subscribe to their newsletter.
Well,
I
funny,
don't
it's because they have nothing else to put there.
I don't know. I don't like the option of having to subscribe to a newsletter and buying stuff. Like,
My 2 main issues with it is that if you listen to music, it will pause your music when you
Yeah.
open the app
'Cause I'm always
every
listening to music.
time. It's driving me nuts. I'm like, I'm listening to the song, and then it just pauses it because it plays that video in the background, but it's not coded properly to like not, take the audio line.
Because it has to fly. I remember like when they were like, yeah, we want to share with you like this new design, and we've done all this work. The work they did was flying birds in the background.
Yeah.
But
I have the videos, by the way. I can send them to you.
Really?
Like the actual video file of the castle with the confetti and the castle with the birds, and also Pirates of the Caribbean animates.
The thing I really enjoyed
cool.
with the app is, I don't know if this came to English because I was booking restaurants way back and it was only in French, but the restaurants when you booked in, it like came up with puns based on what the restaurant was. And it was like Captain Jack's was like all aboard to your reservation and stuff like that. It was really cool.
I don't know if you can see the birds.
Where did you get that from? I don't even want to know.
That works really well on
There's one with
audio
confettis
podcast
as well. This one with confettis.
Is that what happens when?
I don't know where it is in the app.
That'll be like when the parks reopen for the second time, right? They'll be like,
shrink down to the size of Remy and feast on French cuisine in this Parisian bistro,
Also,
straight from the world of a Disney Pixar classic. We don't have these in the app.
The pirate has the flag.
That's cool. Fun. But why is it like... Let me see if I go to Pirates of the Caribbean in the app. Oh, this is so useful for these amazing viewers who can't see a single thing we're talking about.
I know.
That's because they're not viewers. They're
listeners.
No listeners.
The Mickey with the clouds moving the background.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice screensaver. We should make a screensaver.
Did someone dig into the code of the app and find these?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We should probably cut this bit out because it's not that great for people listening.
It's fine.
Let's talk about Standby Pass.
No, but we're going to talk about Standby Pass when we talk about Halloween, because this is all coming this month in October, which means that it's been 40 minutes and it's time for a musical break. And I think we should play my favorite version of Are You Brave Enough, which is the Tower of Terror version.
It's the best version.
It is the best version because it's the best video, it's the best everything.
Right.
So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about Halloween and Standby Pass and everything coming up this month of October, so don't go away.
Do you dare to go out at night? Are you scared? When there is no light, the scoundrels and the villains are enough to cause a fright. Something's calling that you can't resist. The fear is something that still persists. The dark is a curse, but it only gets worse when they step into the light. Are you brave enough for when the shadows start to fall? Are you brave enough to meet the spirits when they call? The dead have come to visit, for tonight they have arisen, scarier than we've ever seen. Tell me now, are you brave enough for Halloween?
What's your greatest fear? You're sure to find it here. It's enough to make you stay home in your bed. What will you do? Will you let it conquer you? Or will you fight off the dread and go forging ahead instead? So tell me now, are you brave enough? Are you really sure? Do you have the stuff
to face what can't be seen?
So tell me now,
Are you brave enough for
Okay.
But anyway, That's where I think that girl came from, probably. Probably that company that they use for all these external special event people.
Richie, stop talking with your mouth full.
It's mince pies. It's Christmas, everyone.
Where did you even find mince pie?
Oh, honey, you haven't been to John Lewis yet.
Are they frozen from last year?
Like, we literally walked through the Christmas section of John Lewis on Sunday, Saturday, or one of them. I don't know.
Christmas is here.
The Christmas lights are up on Oxford
I
Street.
want to play the song. Yeah. Anyways, so we're back, and we're just wondering who the singer is from that awesome version of Are You Brave Enough? And the answer is, we don't know. And the second answer is, it might come from this company that Disneyland Paris work with. And that is all we're going to say about that.
Yeah.
Elliot, what are you doing?
Elliot, what are you doing?
Look at my
Elliot's
apple
putting like
blanket.
some kind of
Elliot's becoming a nun.
Scarf.
It's my breeze blanket.
Well, that would be
breeze.
the most 2020 happening ever. Elliot's becoming a nun.
I'm going to a remote island to find myself.
Well, it is 2020.
I mean, at this stage, like,
weird shit is happening.
Like, a new headline comes out in 2020, you're like, of course, yeah, it's 2020, of course.
I love the tweets
Anyways,
where people
so-
post like the aliens doing press ups and that, saying like we're getting ready for our turn.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh God. So since Richie is eating mince pie, that means that it is Halloween, and
Spooky mince pies.
That's what
Nightmare
it
Before
means.
Christmas.
there's spooky mince pies. Mince pie. So Halloween started last weekend, and so I'm the only one.
This
of
is your
us
section.
this is my section, but you guys have seen.
Yeah,
all the
we
videos
saw
and-
the videos.
and all the coverage because we've been spamming you about it. It's fun.
fine.
I had a great time.
If you have to think about it, then that's not your first reaction.
Well, listen, it's 2020. It's hard. It's hard because
In the past, Disneyland Paris have done Halloween very well, and we've been very spoiled. During the day,
Exactly.
4 times a day, everything's been
Exactly.
free.
And to be honest,
like
even still, it's still the best park Halloween offering for daily ops.
Yeah,
It still
I
is, out of anywhere.
I agree.
Tokyo
I
have
agree.
cancelled the season. I think Hong Kong, I don't think they've cancelled the
there's
season,
nothing.
I think.
Hong Kong just reopened. Like they're still like out of breath.
Yeah. Disney World is like done like it's all
They
in Magic
changed.
Kingdom,
They changed
it's
the
all,
sticker
like-
of the Mickey
Well, you know-
parade.
Yeah.
I was talking to Denise, and she was quite happy actually because
Yeah.
now they're getting some daily Halloween in Magic Kingdom.
I was gonna say, they
which
used to, like,
they used
nothing.
to get zero. They used to
Yeah.
get zero. You had to pay extra, and now she's like, actually, we are getting some free offerings every
Yeah.
single day, and it's quite nice.
I think all of the treats from Mickey's Not So Scary are actually available during daily ops now.
Right.
So like all
Well,
the
probably
special
because they
treats
have
that they do, you can go get them just during the day and stuff now. So
They probably have like a truckload of stuff.
I think
gonna
that's more
expire,
likely
and so
what
they're
it's
like,
been, yeah.
just take them.
sell it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, today, so obviously, and I'm just doing like a little, side comment, but today, obviously, the park hours went down dramatically at studios, and all of a sudden, the Infinity AP is getting 30% off the merchandise instead of 20%. And I'm like, well, yes, but also they cannot move that merchandise fast enough because no one is coming in to buy it.
Yeah.
And those are contracts that are negotiated like a year in
So in
advance.
advance.
And so all this merch has been ordered in 2019 and they're all coming in because it's paid and it's ordered. And it's like, it's like when you order stuff of like the Wish app. It takes like 3 weeks. It takes 3 weeks to come from China. But once you've ordered it, like it's in transit, it is coming. Like there's no canceling. This is not Amazon, and so I think this is also a way to like empty the warehouse because apparently they've even had to get an extra warehouse somewhere outside of Paris to put all their extra merch. That's like how much they have.
Well, they should. I don't know. Part of me says they're not using Shop Disney as much as they really should be as well. And
But
do you
what
remember?
is the integration with Shop Disney? Like, how deep is it? Because I feel like they do
not
some
very
like
deep.
collaboration, but like I don't think they can just call up Shop Disney and say, "Hey, would you pick up like 3 trucks of Mickey dolls? Because like we just have to sell them."
Disneyland
Right, but
Paris
maybe-
have
maybe
to
not like the
sell
Mickey
the
dolls,
merch to
but-
Shop Disney, and then if Shop Disney doesn't want to buy it, Shop Disney don't buy it. Simple.
Well, because they probably like merchandise this shit.
Right.
Do I spend $90 on an Epcot Land poster from Shop Disney?
They don't ship to the UK.
Is it like
Did
real?
you not ship them to the UK? Oh, it's sold
The
out. It's
posters they
gone.
don't ship.
Oh man,
I saw that.
they're all like
Well,
the
thank
nice
you,
ones.
Richie,
from-
for that.
They're all the nice ones.
Thank you
from
for that
D23.
great section.
It's okay.
So anyways-
If you want like more interruptions, Gavin Newsom just ignored reporter questions about Disneyland reopening.
La 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 la.
nothing
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. La 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 la. Knott's Farm. Knott's Farm.
So
Great
back
food.
to Halloween. So the thing with Halloween is that it is super fun, but also like July and August and part of September was daily ops. So it was fun to see all the new different ways that they did the entertainment. And now, of course, like Egg was saying, Halloween we're used to having so much like the parade and the meets and this and that. It's just like
Shows
basically such a blast. Such a blast. The shows. Well, the show. The
Sometimes.
shows
Let's not talk
depend
about
on
The meet and greet
depends on the year.
after the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the year. And so
Well, I mean,
what they've done is
the Halloween celebration's good, pretty consistently good, and that's
Oh, yes, it's
kind
absolutely-
of part show.
okay.
We're
Absolutely.
just dragging the
Yeah.
Ursula crap.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
Ursula. We love you.
We'll do some of that. But so basically, what they've done is they've taken the recipe, which worked really well for reopening, and they made it spooky. So like Mickey became spooky, and
Which is a
the
questionable
Marvel
background.
superheroes- Yeah, very cool. And,
Oh, I didn't like the background.
I wish they chose a different
for Halloween.
Mickey for
Yeah.
Illusion Manor because he's in an orange outfit and the background is very orange. So it
Have the
clashes a
green
little.
one.
So yeah, they should have used like either the green one or the purple one because I think.
But doesn't
the
he have
orange on the
two
orange-
costumes? Like if you go at different times, he has different costumes.
They have three
Oh,
costumes.
so they're
No,
using
No, well, yes,
Illusion
no, they
Manor.
have two costumes. They have two costumes. Illusion
And
Manor
one for the
has
balcony.
three costumes,
Yeah.
and one is on the float,
and one
and
of them.
two are at Mickey.
I would really have
no,
liked.
no. Only one of them's at Meet Mickey.
And then he has another
Oh,
costume.
and the other one is like another Halloween costume.
Mickey's using his whole
Yeah.
wardrobe this
It's
season.
like a brunch outfit, I think. The other Halloween.
Yeah,
one,
because
I
he's
think.
also using his mariachi
Yeah.
wardrobe in
Yeah.
Frontierland, and he's using his Phantom Manor wardrobe at train station, and
yeah.
he's using a different one in the morning, a
Yeah.
different Halloween costume also in the morning. So he's got 1, 2,
It's like 4 or
3,
5, I think.
4, 5, 6
Wow.
total. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I'd have really have liked. So, Meet Mickey, they did the whole thing with like the background of it. Kind of looked a little bit like Mickey's house. I would have really have liked them just to push that for Halloween and just how would Mickey decorate this for Halloween? Not just here's a spooky poster.
I don't know. The
I
stage
thought,
is kind
you know-
of decorated though as well, isn't it? Like.
But when they said it was going to be spooky, like literally, honestly, I walked in like the first morning and I thought it was going to be spooky in a sense that like
Spooky
they were going to
Mickey.
make it look like an old theater, like
cobwebs and
like-
stuff. Yeah.
like
that would've been fun.
cobwebs and
Yeah.
like sort of like various colored lights and
Yeah.
strobes and stuff.
They have
and,
the facility to
and-
do that in there. Like.
and just like like make it look
Yeah, yeah.
like a old.
Yeah.
Like actually spooky. It's very. It looks like It looks like someone. When you put the pumpkin pie too long in the microwave and it explodes.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. But it's good. I like it. It's fun.
It's
and
fun.
all the
It's pop.
all the costumes are great. I mean, the only thing is like I feel like poor Donald is wearing his Devil
Goofy's
Donald
costume
outfit.
is questionable.
Which is like you have Mickey who's wearing his Illusion Manor costume, which is so ornate and so detailed, and then next to him you have Donald who clearly bought his Devil Donald outfit on Amazon.
Wish.com.
And it's Wish.com and Goofy. I like the Goofy.
He has
he's
a
a scarecrow.
scarf. It's like minimal effort.
It's very simple.
They could have done Skeleton Goofy. That would have been so fun.
But Daisy has a really cool outfit. Pluto has this like Halloween color, but poor Pluto never has.
Do you remember when they
costume.
did the Goofy Skeleton Street Festival thing?
I enjoyed
Well,
that.
costume-
That was
I
a
will
great show.
defend that thing.
No,
I will
no,
defend
but like
that thing. A
Oh,
little
it was
street parade.
amazing.
When they
A little
walk up
street
and
parade,
down.
Free Frontierland. It was
with the
brilliant.
minivan,
Yeah.
with the mini
great.
boombox van.
The
Like,
van
like,
vans.
like, look. I love the concept of a mini street parade through Frontierland. I think it was awesome. I think it was a great idea. Like, yes, the van is a bit questionable, but they don't have
It was a trash
Short
van with
sound.
a speaker.
they don't have show speakers. Like, they don't have show sound for Frontierland. They only have like the BGM, which you can't. I
So-
don't think cut in certain sections.
But
Probably with
but
how
also
it's
the
wired up in
van.
Frontierland.
But the van was kind of in theme because they were going for the Dia de los Muertos type thing,
Yeah,
and
it's like a
that
street
actually
party type
happens.
deal. Yeah, I will defend that thing. Like, I really will. I think they did good with that, and I like how ambitious it was.
I thought it was a good offering for that
Yeah,
season.
the
I enjoyed
25th
it.
Halloween was kind of pants because it was all
weird.
just too.
But then for
25th
Christmas, they
themed.
were like, "Oh yeah, screw it, we're gonna do Christmas as normal."
Yeah. But Skeleton Party, I'll defend Skeleton Party. It was fun. We got to see the old like Maleficent dragon dancer costume.
Even Tricycle Gang had like its weird moments where you're like, okay,
I
fine.
loved
Like
that.
when they got off and they started doing these weird interactions and then getting back
Yeah.
on, like I thought that was actually really fun.
All they needed to do was put some like orange and
Cobbles.
black tinsel or something on the tricycles, and I'd have been happy. But like, it was so much fun.
And the music was amazing for that as well.
Thank you,
by the way.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
Clap your
So,
hands.
one thing that I really loved are the crazy pumpkin men and women in Fort Comstock. What a
Yes.
genius idea. And you know what? It doesn't stop guest flow because you have guest flow cast members who are there first telling you to move along. And also, like, people just don't know when it happens and you don't hear it. So they're using, it's something really funny is they're using, talking about BGM speakers, they're using the BGM speakers from the fort.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So if
Okay.
you happen to stand near the one of the downstairs rooms of like, you know, the scenes,
Yeah, like where Buffalo Bill is and stuff.
Are You Brave Enough is
Blaring.
blasting because and
Buffalo
even
Bill
then,
being spooky.
even then you don't really hear the music very loudly, and I think they don't want people to hear
Yeah,
it too
of
loud
course.
because they don't
Yeah.
want people to run over from Central Plaza or inside the land
Yeah,
like back
yeah.
into the fort, obviously. And you
looks
don't
good.
see them too much, like because they're a lot also behind the you know the wood
pillar,
like
yeah.
like the
Okay.
wood barricades are quite high, so you don't really see them that much, and really you really have to be heading into Frontierland to even happen to see them, and they stay there like 30 minutes. They
Yeah.
come out, they do their crazy thing, as Darren would say, shimmy shimmy, and he's obsessed
Yeah.
with them. And they just come out, and they just look like they're possessed, and it is so weird.
I
It
love
is
it.
so weird.
I think
but
it's
it's
great.
I'm just
great.
We
thinking,
need
like,
more,
I
like,
think that's the
ambience.
first
It
time.
is so weird. They're so creepy and they're so weird, and they come out, and it's just kind of like out of like Nightmare Before Christmas a little bit. You know, like they just come out and they're like boop 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 boop, and they just make those crazy moves, and they just like it's like disco meets skeleton meets I don't know what's going on, but yeah, so cool. I like them.
I think it's the first time they've actually ever played something that isn't the four Comstock music in there.
Maybe, yeah. Those speakers may be like, woo!
Because even during park opening and closing, like they don't play the announcements through those speakers either.
Yeah, I don't think so. No. So it's really cool. Good idea. Well done to whoever did that. And what else is going on for Halloween? The train station also went spooky. Basically, everything else went
Oh
spooky.
well, train station went
well.
semi-spooky.
Yeah, that's
Well,
the
so
only thing I'll pull it up
I-
on. There's no reason for them not to use the full VIP like outfit set and just Mickey and Minnie or Mickey and Scrooge.
Well, Mickey
when
and Minnie
doesn't wanna
are
come to work.
alone. Mickey and Minnie are alone at nights.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Are they?
Are they?
Yeah,
Where are
when
they?
they go back to their house and they have a date.
On their moonlit night.
But yeah, still though, like Disney World. That's one thing
Search
Disney
Mickey
World
and
did
Minnie
good.
on a moonlit night, and you'll
They have like rotating outfits for the train station, but like for all the VIPs, like they
Right.
always rotate.
In the morning, it is a bit funny to
Yeah.
see that
It doesn't
they
look
don't
good.
all have it.
It doesn't.
I'm
look good.
sure it's also because they use a lot of them at Mickey. Like Chip and Dale used their outfit
they
at
only have-
Mickey.
No, Donald
and Daisy
only-
uses
They
an
have
outfit
loads
at
of
Mickey.
Halloween
and-
costumes.
No. I'm not letting. No. Donald uses one outfit. It's just the crappy old '90s, like half broken one with like the horrible flappy horns. Where's Maleficent, Donald? Like,
Where is Maleficent?
Where is
Yeah.
Oh,
Maleficent, Donald?
he was promised in the press
Yep.
release, or am
He
I?
was in the press release. I don't know. I was hoping to see him on maybe like the character bus because that is also running. Like,
Yeah.
So the funny thing about Halloween is that they're keeping everything running. They're just adding Halloween on top
Halloween
of the
stuff,
parade.
yeah.
It is literally a highway. Like every 20 minutes, there's something popping up. They still have the princesses that come out only once a day now, and there's the character bus or the fire truck bus that comes like once or twice. I
Yeah.
don't even know anymore. One, maybe even more than that. And there's 4 floats that come out once each, so there's 4 happenings. The princess and anyway, it's a lot.
There's so many
It's a
outfits they
lot.
can use. Like Paris is one of the best equipped parks for like Halloween outfits. Like trust me, we have like the most Halloween outfits for characters out of any park.
Yeah.
And to see like
Well.
it's kind of a shame. Like it looks weird, like just Mickey and Minnie, but then like classic Donald and all that to the side of them.
So the question I have is, why is Mickey in his Phantom Manor outfit on at night, and Minnie is still in her sort of like lower grade witch outfit? Because
they
we
don't want to
were
pay.
promised.
They don't want to pay for
No.
Minnie.
No, it's being made. It just
Is it?
isn't there. Yeah.
But what's the point? It's like we're going to be like halfway through October.
Yeah. Well, I think
that-
there's just like
That
Well, they're
concept's
making
been around
Phantom
since
Minnie.
last year. Like they made that Mickey
there's
and Minnie
just
at
an
the same
issue.
time.
There's an issue somewhere because on launch day I was told to rush to the train station to see it, and then I get to the train. So
So they like,
some
have
people
it almost.
some people knew that it was being made or something.
Because that
And
concept
so
was first shown at, when they did, I can't remember the call, they showed like the Privilege Days or like what's the Heritage Days?
yeah.
It was when they did like an internal cast one of those last year where they had like the books of all the different concepts out, and that Minnie
Yeah.
was in there. And that's like the first time we saw it.
Is it Phantom Minnie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the
Okay.
first time we saw that, and it was supposed to be made at the same time as Phantom Minnie, Phantom Mickey, but for some reason
Yeah.
they only made Mickey and not both of them, and then Minnie was lost. But I'm happy they're making it. But
I'm sure I've
Well,
seen
I mean,
it.
that's what I
Yeah.
heard, but
Yeah.
like we haven't seen it, and now it's
Yeah.
like October
It's getting through, yeah.
5th today,
I mean,
and
if
so
it's like,
I mean,
if it's actually getting made, like it's
maybe
great,
one day it'll
because in the
just
future,
materialize.
yeah, definitely, because that'd be such
maybe
a,
they're having issues with the hat, maybe they're having issues
Yeah.
with the
Mickey's
dress or
Mickey's
the
issue,
accessories.
with his cape is very very heavy, so that caused like
Yeah.
big issues. So maybe it's something
Yeah.
similar.
I don't know. So
But happy
maybe
it's
Minnie will
happening,
have
though.
a new dress. Yeah. So Halloween,
Overall,
very
very
cute.
good.
It will, and it's funny because it will definitely be like, I mean, hopefully, crossing fingers.
Yeah.
a one time. Like it's such a unique year, like
Yeah.
mostly in a bad way, but also in a interesting way
Different
that
way,
they're changing all these offerings, and so we'll never get like that kind of stuff. One thing I hope will stay is themed meet Mickey. Like, please, like, can we meet Mickey in his Halloween costume every year at Meet Mickey? Even when things
Yeah.
go back to normal, he's in his dressing room, it's Halloween, he wants to wear his Halloween costume, and then at Christmas, we want to see him at Christmas. And I think even in, like, down the road, like in the spring, please have him as a spring outfit. And
Yeah.
maybe even in the summer, they could make him a summer outfit
That's
with,
what I
like,
mean.
some
I hope
sunglasses
they
or
learn
something like.
from this, because they've really got something, I think, here, even with just like
Because
the midday
that
ambient
will get-
stuff.
Yeah, and that will get fans to,
Yeah.
character fans to come back, visit more often. And even regular fans, like, they'll
People love
remember, seeing Mickey in his Halloween costume, and he'd be like, oh my god, we should go in Christmas so we can see Mickey in his Christmas costume or a Christmas card, and like,
People
I think
like
it's such a
seasonal
great idea, and-
timed stuff on like their family photos and things like that.
and
like,
it shows that it's possible because
yeah.
hello, you have 3 or 4 on stage at like all day
Oh, yeah.
with those Halloween costumes, so this is producible.
Hopefully, so before it was very internal political with renting costumes from different departments,
Yeah.
which I think they've said this year goes out the window. So hopefully
Yeah,
it's just
I think
now
so,
out
yeah.
the window for good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's such a great idea, and there's a lot
They've
of
got
things. There's a lot of things coming out of this year that could be, staying, like
Yeah.
the pumpkin men and women in Fort Comstock. I
Yeah,
think
keep
it's
it.
great.
Keep it.
When there's not a pandemic. Like, please bring them out. It's so fun. Like, bring them out even somewhere else, or here,
yeah.
or the same.
They would
like,
be
bring
great.
the same next year.
They used to have a
I'd be very happy.
stage years ago at Cottonwood Creek Ranch. Years ago, they used to have a stage there where they used to do like little like cowboy things, but now they've all like decked that out with like the creepy like pumpkin people back there.
Yeah.
that would be awesome to
Yeah.
like do
They
something
have
with them back
literally.
there.
That's one thing though this year, and I appreciate the effort, but they have literally emptied the entire warehouse.
Oh,
I don't know if
everything-
there's
yeah.
like a Halloween warehouse somewhere, but there's nothing left there. Like there's not one pumpkin left in our warehouse. They're all out. They're all, whether it is on Central Plaza,
Yeah.
inside Meet Mickey, in Frontierland, on Main Street. I mean, literally, it's a lot. It's cool, but it's a lot. I mean, clearly,
That's the big one that's not out there. There's a big Mickey Pumpkin backstage.
that
like,
one has not been back out
huge.
forever.
Have the lamppost pumpkins come back? Because they were missing last year.
No.
Oh,
They were
yeah,
really
did come back.
nice,
Where did they go?
yeah.
Because they're really fun.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's been a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2018. Yeah. Oh, was
Yeah,
it?
I don't know
'Cause that
why.
would have been 25th anniversary. Oh, would it?
No, 2017.
2017.
18 was Halloween, normal Halloween again, 'cause
Normal.
the 25th just
Yeah.
finished.
That's
The
it.
debut
just
did
finished,
the
yeah.
amazing.
Oh, that was like the
debut,
first new season. 'Cause
That's
I
when they
remember-
started
There's a-
doing the garlands.
Yeah, because we got excited
Uh,
because we had like 2 weeks of Main Street Station with no decorations.
Decorations, yeah.
After,
Well,
like,
after
the
the
25th
25th, we had this
Yeah.
like big blue screen, that was there
Yeah.
forever, which is now, funny enough, like recycled with It's Magic Time or it's
Yeah,
Is that still there?
no,
it's not.
it's
gone.
Halloween,
Thank
obviously,
God.
but
Take it down with a sledgehammer.
It's magic time.
but it's funny, like they reused the frame
Yeah.
of the
I
25th.
just hated that. I thought that was such an unnecessary
It
thing
was
to have done.
so ugly.
They were excited for the reopening. They
I
tried
know,
something.
but it was
sometimes you
so
try
ugly.
and it works, and sometimes you try and it doesn't work.
But surely, like, you just put it up and you just look at it and go,
God, no.
maybe not.
Yeah, but once it's up, it's up.
If
it's
people
Paris.
if
Like,
people
there's
see
no-
a picture of something and have to argue if it's photoshopped or not because it looks that bad, I think they're
that's
like,
true, man.
ooh.
I remember when we
no.
got sent the concept art of it a few weeks before opening. I thought it was a joke.
Oh yeah,
Because
same.
it
Yeah, I
was
thought
such-
someone made
yeah.
it on Snapchat.
Yeah.
So Castle Stage.
Oh,
That
I
feels
don't
like
know.
last year. They were just repeating last year. Castle Stage.
I know.
Ugh.
Yeah, please refer to last year's podcast about Castle Stage.
Yeah.
No, so first of all, the ugly cutouts background is back, and I really thought. I was really hoping that was one of the things that they would just, casually leave outside, and then, oops.
The
it's
problem with
rotten.
that cardboard background was it actually looked quite good at night. But
Yeah,
now
there
we're
is-
in this
but now
weird
there's no one
situation
at-
where the
yeah.
park's closed at night.
Yeah. And so I appreciate what they try to do with Ursula, but I mean, she turns around, sings for 2 minutes in playback with 2 eels, which is kind of okay, and then turns back. Now, it's cute. It works. It's fun. I enjoyed looking at it. There's like a little bit of pyro at the end, and there's some bubbles, and it's kind of cool to see her. The only thing is, it is a lot of effort for everyone. Like, guests don't know what time the happening is, so people will like camp out, and I mean, not during the week because no one is there, but on weekends. And guest flow has to like separate people, and people are waiting around, and people get excited, and it's like there's a little video that's really cool, but then like she turns around, and people are like, oh wow, there she is, and by the time they say that, she's already turned around. And
Does anyone know what happened to the selfie spot?
it was just not doable. I think it was the
logistically, it
issue
would probably
was
be very hard. I think. Like,
the issue is to bring people up to the stage,
Yeah.
and it's not like mobility accessible.
Also, if
to
you're
get on the
running
stage,
like cavalcades and things, like
Yeah. Where's the line?
it
Yeah.
just, I don't know. A
Yeah,
2-minute show is
it's-
easy to get people in and get people out very quickly.
well, I mean, on opening weekends, the issue was not only people standing there, but also like when the show ended, everyone was leaving at the same time, and that was a big crowd.
Oh, I guess.
That was the biggest crowd. And I know you guys were like super worried about when the floats come out, that there was a crowd. And I mean, I know we've talked about this before and this and that, but it's actually under control now. Opening weekend was maybe a little bit more busy than usual,
Yeah.
but I mean,
I think it was definitely more busy.
the
than
thing that
usual.
you have to remember is that you see the video thinking, oh wow, that's how Main Street is. That's not how Main Street is. Like, that's how Main Street is for about 20 seconds, and then the float goes away and everyone kind of disperses. So yes, people get a
I think
little bit.
They have to be careful.
People
about
get
that,
like
though.
maybe 1 to 2 meters from each other, which is like more than like the 3 or 4 meters that usually people are part of Main Street. But that is just like 30 seconds, and usually people like disperse. The other issue that there is that if Main Street is a little bit busy, which is sometimes the case on weekends, the float roars through Main Street, and people are not ready for it. And then guest flow cast members will push people to the sidewalks. And so if Main Street is busy, there's only one place for those people to go to, and the sidewalks are only that big. So the sidewalks tend to be like,
And if you're being
bit
shoved out
full.
the street, you're of course going to stay and watch.
yeah,
You're
you
not
cannot
going
stay on the
to.
street, and and there's really nowhere to go. People are not going to go inside the shops because there's a float coming. They want to see it. So the issue is, where do you put those people? And really, those people are going to be on the sidewalk for like 30 seconds. As soon as the float has passed, like people can go behind it and go back on Main Street, and people just kind of like spread out again. So it did look a little bit bad on video. I mean, I don't know, from being there on the sidewalk, like I didn't feel like people were less than a meter away from me at any point, and then probably even more than that, further away. But I mean, yeah, I wasn't really too worried about it. And you're also like outside and it's windy and everything, so like I think on like the scale, like if you live in a big city, I think you have like more risk like 10 times a day than that 30 seconds the float goes by. But I get that on video it did look a little bit crowded, but I mean, I don't know. In person I was not really worried by it.
But do you think that some of the issues potentially could have been solved by starting this season on a weekday so that all the hardcore fans you kind of got out the way?
Oh yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, something they've done also is that so this issue happened mostly when the floats were coming out of Town Square, because it would the one video that most people have commented about is happened around 11 o'clock, and there was a lot of people coming through Main Street Station to get on Main Street, and so the float came out as a lot of people were coming in, and also Main Street was quite busy, and people were not ready for the float to come out on Main Street. So it was this mix of people coming in, people being pushed to the side on Main Street, and just like nowhere to go. So what they've done starting the next day is they started in Fantasyland from Small World. And so what that does is that no one waits in Fantasyland. Like no one really hangs out in front of Bella Notte if you don't know that there's something, So the float would come out there, and then people would hear the music over there, and then they would hear the music in Central Plaza, which would pull people out of Main Street around Central Plaza, which has a lot more room. And then by the time
do they go around the
Main
whole
Street,
way? Do they like actually go around?
Yeah,
okay.
They do go around the whole way. And they don't go around Town Square, but they go around Central Plaza, like the long way, whichever, as you can imagine, the long way is. So that means that people would walk out of Main Street into Central Plaza, and then people coming into Main Street would have room to go either in the arcades or go on the side. So it was actually a smart move to have them come out that way. And I think now they all come out of Small World. I might be wrong, but I think most of them do. Maybe the afternoon ones come out of Town Square because everyone's already in the park. But but it's all those adjustments. They obviously they're aware of it, I think. But it is tough. It's tough. I really kudos to the guest cast members who push those people out the streets, because at the same time they have to be wear your mask, stay away from people, get out of the streets,
get the hell out of the way.
It is a lot. There's a lot at the same time to tell people, and most people are just kind of oh, what's going on? What? Oh my god, look, there's Mickey. I want to take a photo. No, you have to move, and it's but I'm glad they're doing it, and I'm glad it hasn't gone cancelled yet. I mean, it's been a whole week now, and it's not
here
cancelled.
to stay. Yeah, if it wasn't going to get pulled after that, they're pretty happy with it.
I thought Castle Stage might be, but I think with weekdays
crowds just drop off so much.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that Ursula happening, it's only 4 times a day. Yeah. 4 times. Yeah. And sometimes it's 10 people.
Yeah.
It's there's probably more cast and crew together than guests watching. So yeah, that's fine now. And even on weekends, I think this past weekend was
really quiet.
I mean,
still compared to
weekends are busier, but it's gone back to being quite reasonable.
Consistently quiet. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
I
could have done with that Ursula, but Christmas, you meaning you think it's going to be too busy, or?
Oh no, I think it's going to really slowly get quieter and quieter.
Well, the thing with Christmas is that midweek was always dead for Christmas. It's cold, it's a bit rainy, there's no real holidays from about November onwards. And then it gets really busy at weekends because it's Christmas and everyone loves it.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean,
it's hard to predict now.
For both, really honestly, for both Halloween and Christmas, I'm most excited to see the decorations and the music and there's the snacks too. The snacks are really shit, but I'm excited for them.
The gingerbread Christmas trees last year were really good.
That's true. Yeah. Oh yeah. My God, that's all you ate all day. Yeah. That's all you survived on for your entire trip. You would have three a day.
Yeah.
And I mean, let's not talk about the food and snacks. It's all crap, but I'm glad it's back. It just makes you feel like you're in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
But like, there's kind of the weird thing
There's
with
the
the
cute
food
little
is
cakes at Victoria's, by the way. The cute little cakes at Victoria's.
yeah.
But I mean,
Oh, they are.
they
cute.
look cute, but they're kind of like the same ones you get at the buffet
buffets,
desserts.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they look great, but then you bite into them and you're like,
Yeah.
But like you look at the Luggy Nugget menu, and it's another rubbish burger. But then there's a sweet potato fries, and it's like, okay, well you've got like half of it. Like, you've got something that's a little
Yeah.
bit nice, a little bit different,
Yeah.
and then you just like dump a burger on it, and just it's horrible.
well, remember last year they were doing this like Christmas menu
Yeah.
with
the
like
Christmas
the
menu was
turkey
so
and the
good.
chestnuts and the
Uh-huh.
stuff.
That was
was
awesome.
fun. Yeah, I hope that comes back. I don't
We
see
went,
why it wouldn't
like,
because
every
I think it
day.
did really well.
It was really
Yeah.
popular, I think.
Yeah, there's
So
a
I
few
hope it
out
comes
The
back.
one burger I really liked at Disneyland Paris was actually in the Studio One restaurant. They did like the Christmas raclette burger a couple of years ago. That was nice. Like that was really good.
I think one of the Marvel burgers that had like, I can't remember what it was, but it had like a,
The
Almost
Captain
like-
Marvel thing where the Doritos inside.
yeah, that one was good. But they also did one with like a crispy cheese like disc.
Oh, the Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
one.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
one was kind of nice as well. For like a Disneyland Paris burger, like the burger itself, like the actual like beef burger is like awful. It's like it's not good. But like as a theme park Disneyland Paris burger, like those
The
ones
cheese
aren't
was
actually
nice.
bad. Like the Captain Marvel one was okay, and then that one was okay as well.
Is that the one that we had at that event where we
Yeah.
couldn't stop laughing?
Oh, with the weird dome dessert thing.
Yeah, I don't know. We broke our dessert.
And
all the French haters.
Jeff's lights just went off.
Oh,
My
Jeff-
lights have just turned off.
And they brought back the
Bedtime
Pumpkin Man dessert.
Which dessert?
The pumpkin dessert.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
pumpkin. Yeah, I had it.
sounded
Oh, it
really
was so
nice.
nice. Oh
They're
my
really
god.
cool.
Last
It
year,
looks awesome.
we
Yeah.
would just go to Hyperion and be like, "Hi, can we have just the pumpkins?"
Yeah, but they do that. They do that now. It's actually on the menu, and it's like €5.50
Yeah.
or something. And I'm like,
So you paid it
I don't know.
anyway.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
worth $5.50. Like you always gotta mess it up somewhere. I'm like, oh, this is
$3.50.
worth like $3.99. Come
Yeah. Oh,
on,
yeah.
max. But hey.
It's nice to have in like a menu option. It's like a menu
Yeah,
dessert.
I had the whole menu, and let
Yeah.
me tell you, those fries. Oh Jesus Christ! Oh,
The sweet
They're
potato
Are they
ones.
bad?
they're like unsalted, undercooked, and it's like
Oh, boy.
eating like plaster. Like
They just
or eating like flour. That's like flour with water if you put it in your
makes
mouth.
me really
Oh,
upset.
like this, gross. It's disgusting. I ate them because I was starving from walking around all day, but it's in front of you. So even though I had to run to see Jesse on the car for the first time,
So you scoffed it.
but yeah, kind of. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, the parks are looking amazing. They've done some great job in Fantasyland. Around
the
La
floor's still
Enchantée.
ongoing as well, isn't it? Like they're still going
Yeah.
all ahead with that.
Yeah,
Which is a
they're gonna
great
go
project.
like all the way. I think they're gonna go all the way to like Princess Pavilion and
Yeah,
It's a Small
yeah.
World and all that. I think it's gonna link up in front of like Fantasia Gelati.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah,
To,
looks awesome.
Because then once you get to Gelati, then it's like the new.
Yeah, but yeah.
They've already redone
That
this
area.
like years
Yeah.
ago. That whole parade route repaving in Fantasyland, so that would link up to that, and then
It's probably
then
just
I guess they
been
can keep going
one
like
huge
towards.
planned project. I imagine that it's just probably taken quite a while to either find time to do it or the right time to do it because
Yeah.
like you say, when they redeveloped that like corner way to take out a few planters, I feel like it's all sort of linked from that.
Yeah.
It's a great project. I'm
Yeah,
happy
and
they're
I
doing
hope those pavers are also going to go like all the way around Castle Courtyard and all this because like around the carousel, this
Yeah.
is still the old,
it. Like
sort of
copy
like
Yeah.
floor, yeah.
painted concrete
Yeah.
type of thing.
Slabs.
So,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like such
So
a
We
random
do have
thing
the
to do.
we
but,
have the
like,
best flooring in DLP.
yeah, it's really nice. I mean, when
yeah.
I see Main Street at Magic Kingdom, I'm like, ew.
Yeah,
It is just like black.
yeah.
Frontierland in Magic
Concrete.
Kingdom with that red.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, why don't they just redo all of?
Well,
Magic Kingdom, like
Disneyland
they-
only just got cobblestones on Main Street.
yeah.
Yeah,
Only
true,
really just
yeah.
and only like
not even all of it.
oh, no,
right?
it's like a strip
only
in the middle.
Yeah,
looks.
Don't
I don't
get it.
like it.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
Why?
But like, yeah,
It's,
it was.
it's very strange.
All of like the Disneyland viewing area for Fantasmic was all like inspired by the brickwork of Main Street
Oh,
and
we
things
lost
like
it.
that. So after Disneyland Paris, like a lot of other parks
Bye,
started to
Richie.
change their floors.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. What?
Richie's gone.
No, I'm not.
No. Rich is here.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's-
Hello.
I can't hear him. Can you hear me? He's just like
Yeah, we can hear you.
Richie for me is like a triangle with an exclamation mark in it, and I can't
Oh, wow.
hear.
I know we can hear it.
Elliot sucks.
I'm gonna send you guys this.
He can't hear.
Elliot smells.
This is so weird.
He can't hear me.
Well, anyways,
Anyway,
it's time
moving
for a
on.
break. It's time for a break anyway, because we're done with Halloween. So when we come back, we'll talk about the future, and then we need to talk about Stand By Pass. So we're going to do that in the next segment, and then we'll talk about what's coming up in the next few months and what's going to happen with Disneyland Paris in the future, as far as we know, as far as anyone knows. So what should we listen to?
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
Viva
okay.
Viva.
We could go like classic Halloween. No, that's
It's
No, that's
Halloween,
too
yeah. Halloween,
everybody.
Halloween. That's a good
Halloween,
song.
Halloween. All right,
Yeah.
fine.
I like that
okay,
one.
all right. We
They
gotta
have a
listen
really
to
nice version
Halloween,
from
Halloween.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
They stole it.
They did like a
Well,
reggae
as long as
version of that as well, you know. They did like a CD with like loads of really weird remixed versions of
hear
this song on
him.
it.
I have
Really?
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we find it?
I can send you it, yeah. You can
What's
put the
he
reggae
saying?
version
Okay.
on if you want.
Okay, well, we'll try to find the reggae version and play that right now. So we'll take a break.
Sorry.
We'll
sorry,
be back.
everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm so
We'll
sorry.
be back in a minute.
so sorry.
see you in a bit.
Sorry.
When the moon is full and bright on a starry, starry night, and the wind is deadly still, down your spine you feel a chill. Something spooky's in the air. You look around and no one's
Oh boy. What did we just listen to? Why? I think the rap part is my favorite.
It's
So
incredible.
unexpected.
The rap just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, you're just enjoying this like chill Halloween reggae vibe as you do. Well, maybe they do have Halloween. I don't know.
Do they have
I don't
Halloween
even
in
know where-
Babylon?
I don't know where to start with this, but yeah, and also like why, like if you're a music director and you're like, wait a minute, I'm gonna need a reggae version, please. Like what? Yes, for our show in the
Just in
reggae,
case, like, there's some
in reggae land,
Rastafarians, like, walking around.
It's
Just
for,
be like,
it's for reggae land of Disneyland. Okay, yeah.
You could-
I mean, maybe in like Adventureland, like you could have
Totally.
like. Yeah. You could have like someone like smoking pot inside Skull Rock and just like blowing the smoke from the eyes.
Everyone's like, "Oh, guys, look! There's the smoke effect in Explorers."
Yeah,
is
to
fixed."
that-
Oh wait,
to
no,
that
no,
music,
that's
you know? They're like, yeah.
There's just like, you walk upstairs, there's just someone smoking pot listening
That's
to
the
that.
show director just smoking some pot in Skull Rock. He's the one who ordered the song. We didn't know what to do with it, so we just put him there. And he's just, if you want to puff, just take the first right. If you've just watched Ursula on Castle Stage and need to relax, just head to Skull Rock. This is where Halloween.
That's where the good shit is.
Yeah, that's
Where
the
magic
is.
gets real.
Yeah.
It gets real. It gets real chill. Real relaxed. Yeah. Don't smoke through your mask, though. I don't know how that
Or maybe
works.
do.
Or maybe do.
What's the advice of that?
Oh, man. Okay, so stay tuned because this is not all.
It gets much worse.
We have the chipmunk techno version, and it will be closing the show today.
How many
So,
versions
yeah.
are there of
So
this
stick
song?
around.
I can tell you.
Country, rock.
We have the instrumental version, the dreamy version, the techno version, the Asian vibes
Asian
version,
vibes.
the reggae version,
Which we're not allowed to
which we
play.
are not playing because it is mildly racist. Country remix, rocky feeling
Rocky
remix,
Feeling.
another instrumental, the standard, and then the standard but with a capitalized L.
Halloween.
Halloween but with a capitalized L. It's probably just the
We
same
now
version.
have the
but I
Shanghai
don't know why it's on
version
there
and the
twice.
California version on top of that.
Oh. Well, yeah, there's a few versions.
Well,
it's official.
that was a lot.
2005.
Standby pass. Why?
Great innovation. Really not
Why?
necessary.
Why? So if you've heard about the boarding groups for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, same.
Which you
really,
definitely
but,
have.
Well, is it kind of the same? I don't know. It's weirder.
it's your right to come and queue for 30 minutes instead of 80. Basically,
Yeah.
that's how I like to summarize
Well,
it.
it's meant to be less than 15. But, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Especially at Crush Coaster, I would not. I'm not surprised they're not promising any time.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
that thing breaks down more than.
It doesn't break down, it just has a really low
The-
capacity.
No, it breaks down quite a bit.
It breaks down all the time, so but yeah.
It'll be because of the constantly moving loading bay. Because if the brake runs, like
Because kids fall in the middle. No.
You stop.
you have to like get them out with a big stick and
Guys, we got out of the kid that fell between the two turtles. Yeah, he's just being dragged a bit. Can you turn it off? I don't know where I got that. This has never happened, I swear. No, it really hasn't.
but yeah, coasters with like
anyway.
moving walkways,
Yeah.
they have a tendency to
Yeah.
like go one-on-one a lot more because of the way roller coasters work, basically, without going too much into it.
Yeah, but like, they managed to do it at Phantom Manor.
Yeah, but Phantom Manor doesn't have brake runs. That's a different thing. Like each section of a roller coaster, when you go over a brake run, like the coaster in front of it has to clear that section. or like certain areas can only occupy so many cars. So if it's like a really long section, it may be able to allow to 2 there. But if there's a bit of a hold up, and then another car comes, the whole thing goes 101 because it like there's a cascade. That's what they call it. Yeah, it's what keeps roller coaster cars from hitting into the back of you. Like it's physically impossible, pretty much, if everything works correctly, because only certain cars are allowed in certain chunks of the track, and if it cascades, everything stops. That's why you have these weird sections of roller coasters where you go over like flat brake runs. That's the reason.
So not like the Skyliner.
No, they just use this method where they just smash into each other to stop.
Skyliner, they just smash.
Yeah. Okay. That's why Big Thunder goes down all the time in Paris. Because the brake runs.
They need to get the cars going quickly.
Yeah, if they don't load it fast enough, it cascades. That's literally the reason. So if they're ever loading you on Big Thunder and like, take your back off, go, 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 like it's a military operation to get on the thing.
Time's running out.
That's why. Because if you're not on that thing and seated in like 25 seconds, they go 101 for an hour.
I miss Big
We
Thunder.
went on it a few days ago.
So clearly we're very passionate about Standby Pass that we've already changed
it's
topics.
it's a great. We just like appreciate we
roller
have
coasters.
a Disney account tickets linked in the app feature.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, let's see how that works, because
it's just exhausting that we have some other great new technology, but only because, pandemic. Like, where was this last year when the park was like insanely busy at Christmas? Like, where was the stand-up bypass? Like, anyway.
we still need mobile ordering as well.
Like back when when we had like days with like literally 50K.
Yeah.
Where like, we're developing the app. It's been 2 years. We have like a team of like 60 people working on this one app.
And they're all
so bugging,
French,
like,
just
and
so you know.
nothing happens. And then all of a sudden, there's a pandemic, and there's a new guy. Elliot, you know all about this new guy. The new
Vice President, a new position, Vice President of Technology.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy must have like gotten hired and like walked into the building and be like
Screamed.
What the F? like
someone's in the corner smoking pot, listening to
so for
Halloween
30 years you've been
he
doing.
First visited, he went to Cheyenne and went, I just want to add my wife onto the room, and the ring binder came out. They're like, oh, here we go.
They're probably giving it to him and be like, so we just fax all the reservations, and be like, what? Sorry. So
how are you gathering customer data on check-in? They fill it in on a piece of paper.
Yeah, we give them a pen, and then they spend 20 minutes in front of the desk while hundreds of guests are waiting behind them to fill up that one form, and then someone enters the form into the computer.
It's so bonkers. I remember, the partner B&B.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I went. So the first time you go, like they ask you to fill out the form, and then they go, "Have you been here before?" Yeah. All right, don't even bother with it.
Yeah. I mean, High Park, the same. Like, there was a time where I was going so often, they would just
Relay Spa check in.
Ask me to sign. They would just not make me sign anything. They're like, "Hi, there you go, here's your room." But anyway, so
the good news is
Standby
though,
Pass.
the
We're
good
going to
news
try it
is
tomorrow,
that this is
actually,
the same
because tomorrow
technology as Fast Pass, Max Pass. So
yeah, so my buddy, who definitely did not untie the code of the app, says that a lot of the references in the code for Standby Pass actually say Fast Pass. So they've definitely rebranded what is meant to be the future Fast Pass system or Max Pass or whatever into Standby Pass, because the code is the same. It's just like a version of the same sort of system.
So after COVID,
So yeah, I mean, you basically don't get a Fast Pass. You get the right to come back at a time and queue for the posted time. But like the way the system is designed, like I said, is that basically the posted time is going to be kept under X minutes. I was more thinking like, I was more thinking like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know.
For Crush, this will really
We'll
help.
see tomorrow because, right. So they're opening it with Crush Coaster because clearly that's the one that can benefit from it. I mean, on a Tuesday right now, I don't see any other attraction that could be using it. So maybe on the weekends,
stuff
like
tried on
towards
Crush
the end
with, like Fast Pass and everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They've tried everything for that thing.
Single rider, fast pass, what else? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it works tomorrow. The app is not really active yet. I don't know. We can't find any details. We can't find anywhere to like add your ticket.
I
Is it
mean,
gonna
in
be
theory, we've
geo-based,
linked our
or is it
tickets
gonna be
already
chip-based? Do you have to scan your
to our
ticket?
Disney accounts. They're already linked in theory.
I mean,
Oh.
you're talking about theory, Elliot. This is Disneyland Paris. We don't do theory.
Because of park
About 3 months
reservations.
ago, we didn't even
right?
have Disney
Yeah.
account on the website. Now it's everywhere. So, step by step.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
We'll
mean,
see.
they ported over the reservation system from Disneyland.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 100% clear yet whether that's going to carry over to standby pass or maybe there's something even better. I don't know.
Well, the standby pass is going to be entirely done in app, so it's not going to send you to a website or anything.
Yeah.
So the app is
yeah,
going to
but I mean, sorry,
activate
like
tomorrow or something. I mean,
yeah.
I hope someone at Team Disney remembers that it's tomorrow.
Hit the big
I
red
Watch
button.
it being 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and like nothing happened.
Some little gasping off. Oh, the app!
Yeah. Sorry, it was at lunch.
I really hope that this is kind of the beginning of maybe I can scan my AP on my phone in the future. That would be nice.
Which is literally.
And they
the
announced that
simplest
feature in 2018.
Michael has done an app that creates those things
Yeah.
in your Apple Wallet, like
Well, I mean,
literally
if
3
we're-
years ago.
So a Disneyland Paris ticket, if we're kind of breaking it down to what it is, if you scan your AP on your iPhone or Android or whatever, you're going to find that all the QR code is your long barcode. So the app could just generate any QR code you want. As long as it matches that same number, you're in.
Of course. Yeah. It's It's nothing fancy. No. Yeah. So it's really easy to do, but for some reason, yeah.
However,
and I've tried to use
the ball's rolling.
I've tried to
now.
use that. Sorry.
I was saying the ball's rolling now. I feel like things are
And
happening.
the AP office is closed.
Yeah.
The fact,
Yeah.
the fact we're even having this conversation about the fact that like some form of reservation system might be active.
And
in
isn't
the app.
Lamberti
Yeah,
closing
Yeah.
down?
I mean-
soon?
even a year ago, like if you told us this a year ago, like
Yeah.
would have been like shocked.
Insane.
So
This is insane. Like tomorrow is like a historical day.
it really
so
is. So.
can't wait. So
Meanwhile,
obviously by
I
the
could go to
time,
Wagamama and like type in my table number and split the bill
Right,
on a
but I
website
mean-
and like
by the time I edit and release this podcast, will probably Wednesday, so it will have happened already. But maybe have seen the coverage and you already know by the time you listen to this how it went. So I hope it went well.
I hope it went.
But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it on the November podcast.
Yeah.
Once Christmas launches, we'll do a new podcast. So what's happening? What's happening in the next few months? What is going to happen to us?
Christmas. In theory,
Christmas.
New Year's.
So I'm hoping Christmas they do the same thing they've done for
I'm sure they
Halloween,
will.
which is
it'll just be like a
Yeah.
not a cut and paste,
Well,
but
you
you know what I
know.
mean, like a retheme, a reskin.
I don't know if they're gonna launch many floats. I think only the Santa.
They don't have
float
many. They
is
don't
gonna
have
come
many
out.
floats left.
Yeah,
They're all in.
but they have Santa. They have the dual Santa with the
Yeah.
elves and stuff. So I mean,
Yeah.
and you know what? That's fine.
I
That's
don't know
fine.
if they'll run that because that's quite a big float though for them to run. I guess.
Yeah, I
That's
think
like
that's
a
the one
massive
they're running.
float.
Yeah, they're putting
Yeah,
Santa
but
on it.
I mean, you have to put Santa on a float. Like it's Christmas.
Some
Like,
stuff
you
is
have
bought
to.
in Discoveryland.
Yeah, I mean, he's also going to be at Videopolis, like in the arcade. Which
Yeah.
okay,
Choices.
Yeah, that's
But
not
that probably
fun.
means Christmas Meet Mickey
Mm-hmm.
though, because otherwise they
Yeah.
probably would have put him on stage there. I'd imagine.
yeah.
So I feel like they're probably
Yeah.
going to do like
I'm
Christmas
not doing
version of Meet
Christmas
Mickey.
Mickey and the Magician.
Yeah.
Are they? I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be the same,
I
right?
think he's going to be in a Christmas outfit.
Doing things. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Mickey Magician
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Christmas outfits. Why? Do you know something?
No.
Oh, okay, he knows something. All right, well, that's good, I guess. Sure.
I think they have their
and then-
formula, and I think it'll just be like a reskin of what we have now, which isn't bad.
Yeah,
But it because it
that's fine.
works. So I'm
Yeah.
happy
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, and I guess they'll have costumes,
Yeah.
like Christmas costumes on Main
Yeah.
Street, on Main Street Station, and then
Look at the tree and everything. It'll be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice. And the garlands and the snow on Main Street and the music and all this and that. Yeah, I mean, I hope they play Christmas this year when Santa comes down on his float.
I'm sure they will.
Because
It will be on a loop in town square every
or maybe
morning.
they'll have.
Take it.
I think the Christmas tree. You know the. I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't like that float. The ugly Christmas tree opening float,
Yeah, it's not that nice.
Yeah.
which is like a triangle.
Yeah.
Um,
Did that
I think
survive?
that one. No, I don't think so.
Thank God.
Next
I
year's
don't know.
gonna be
I'm
great.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think
literally.
if we think about Disneyland
Well,
Paris, we just have to
maybe.
like, imagine everything's been shifted by a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's also
Yeah.
budgets that
It would have been a
are
good
probably
year
cut.
if this didn't happen in a sense of like new things and things happening, because the lineup for this year of like things that weren't announced but
Yeah.
were still coming was really good. Do you know what I mean? They had plans.
Yeah, I
so-
think like Halloween and Christmas were going to
Yeah,
be really amazing
really big.
this year, and now they're not. But
Yeah.
you know, it's okay. That's
time's fine.
That's
Look,
fine. And like
time's
you know,
fine.
Hotel New York should have opened this summer, and that should have been a big
Yeah.
thing of
Eh,
2020.
At least next year will keep you occupied while you wait for Avengers Campus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, talking about
Awkward
Avengers
silence.
Campus. Yeah, talking about Avengers Campus, it is progressing
construction's
nicely.
going really well.
And
Yeah,
they're
it's
putting
progressing
like theming on the Spider-Man building, and you know, we're gonna try to go in Panorama Magic again.
At least we'll know what
Yeah,
Ratatouille
big
looks
camera.
like, but being sat for a long time, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So it is a good of a. So I've also heard that they were having issues having a lot of artists come in from other European countries to come work in Paris to finish Avengers Campus and this and that. So
yeah.
you know, yeah.
To be
So
fair,
like the
they've
finishing
just dumped
touches.
half the WDI guys who were working on it.
And what have
I
they?
think it's pretty finished.
As in, like, I know people who were on the project who were going to come to Paris, who like
Oh yeah,
are
yeah,
on the
yeah.
project.
But I mean, but because it raises a lot of questions. Like, do you?
how'd you finish it?
Like, are you paying those people to quarantine when they go back to the UK? Is that part of like the job? Is that like, and it's all those questions that are just
I
quite
don't know who they're
complicated.
going
I
to get
think.
to come in to do it. Like I say, because like people from
Well,
WDI and Glendale,
they
who've
are.
just been let
No,
go.
but they are going to come next summer and next fall and
Oh,
finish
I hope
it.
they get
and
took
then,
back on, because there's people on the project who've been
like once people can travel, like hopefully by next summer,
Mm.
they'll start again and finish the theming and all this and that, and then like finalize it by the end.
Mm.
But I think what Richie's saying is that some of the people working on it over in Burbank, Glendale,
Yeah.
are some of the
Oh,
28,000.
gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like people like on the project, like set designers, people like
In
high
US,
people
yeah.
who like look after like.
But isn't that already designed for us?
no,
though?
they're the people who come in like after it's built to like finish it up and stuff and clean it up. Yeah, that's one of the
That's
worrying
worrying.
things.
Yeah. So much uncertainty, and also like the question remains of what is going to happen in January, February, March,
Yeah.
when you know it's going to be very cold, and these are usually the empty months
Like really empty
at the resort.
even on
like
normal
January,
days.
February. You know, I mean, there is the school
Yeah, it's
holidays that help a
worrying.
little bit,
Mm.
but I mean, people go more like skiing. People go, you know, it's not really like. I mean, the February, March holidays are not really huge in Disneyland Paris. I think the spring holidays are bigger in like
time.
April. So January, February, March is really a big question. Like, do they keep it open? Do they keep it open all the time? Like, what is going to happen? Reservations have opened for January and they're available for each day of the week, which is
something.
sure. I mean, let's see.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, they can totally go back on that.
Yeah.
Well, I think which is the park that is closing 2 days a week? I think it's Hong Kong, right? Hong
Hong
Kong's
Kong.
Tuesday and
Yeah.
Thursday is closed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Which
also
is weird.
there's
What?
the
Tuesday
question.
and Thursdays. So like, it's really, if you want to do like a 2-day trip, you can't
Yeah.
except on weekends. Like, how?
I
What?
don't know. I think Hong
I
Kong
think-
at the moment. Well, to be fair, Hong Kong most of the time is very much a locals park. It's very much the
Yeah.
equivalent of Disneyland to.
But you still can't go.
LA.
No one can travel into Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I mean, I
even
think,
on a
like-
normal day, like tourism in Hong Kong is a very very small percentage of what the
Yeah.
actual like turnover is, because it's mainly locals who go there. It's a locals park.
We also
I
have
mean,
the
I
question
would choose
of,
Monday, Tuesday for Paris to close. To be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah,
Tuesday is always big with the fans.
Guest
for
Star
some reason.
Tuesday.
yeah.
Well, so I think I read
Yeah.
a while ago that statistically Thursday is the quietest day.
I guess
Is
that
it?
makes sense because people arrive for the weekend on
Maybe
Friday,
midweek, leave
maybe take
by
a long
Thursday.
weekend, so leave on
Yeah.
Monday or Sunday potentially.
But the problem is Wednesday afternoon is a big day off for the schools in France.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like, I mean, it depends on your school, but
Yeah.
growing up, I had Wednesday afternoon off.
Oh, really?
But otherwise, in
Okay.
school in France, you go to school like from 8 or 9 a.m. until like 4 or 5 p.m. Like, it's big days. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Wednesday, you only have class until like noon
Oh,
or
cool.
something.
I didn't know that.
So Wednesday is also kind of like, I mean, depending on the school, it's kind of like a time where people could come in the afternoon. So I think Wednesday is quite busy, and Tuesday is already busy with the fans. So I guess Monday and Thursday is not actually a bad, but it's weird because then you can't do like 2 days in a row if you come from the UK or something and it's closed Thursday. I mean,
There's also, of course, questions about New Year's Eve. What does that look like in the resort?
I
We
don't-
don't
What
know
is
that
happening?
yet.
I honestly,
what is happening for New Year's Eve?
I
Like,
don't think
I'm
New
trying
Year's
to
Eve
push
is
them
happening.
like, but what? Like the park is going to be closed
Yeah.
at night?
I genuinely hand on heart believe that it just won't
But
be.
That's crazy. You're going to send everyone to go to the hotels.
I don't
like, I'm
think
going to spend
there's-
my New Year's Eve in Val
I
d'Or.
don't think there's going to be many of everyone for them to send away. I really don't think people will
But
choose this year to go.
People
there
in
for-
Paris will go for the night to celebrate New
Yeah.
Year's at Disney.
Really.
I think they
All the
need to
AP
start.
holders.
They need to start basically telling people what's going on, because people make plans for New Year's Eve. It's a big celebration, and even
Yeah.
this year, people will still have plans because
They're probably
they're
just
not
seeing
going to
how,
let this.
how everything looks. Like I really
Right,
don't.
But
think
it's October. It's October. They need to
a point where,
decide.
yeah, there's a point where you can't just put it off anymore, and you need to make that decision.
I think if they were going to make
Yeah.
a decision today, they wouldn't do it.
But they need to make a
Right, I
decision
mean,
like
today
now.
is particularly
really.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, they need to decide. Yeah, they need to decide, and cancel if you're not going to do it. I mean,
I think
they
cancel.
need to tell people at least something.
I honestly don't think the US would let them do any form of event or even like extended hours or anything like that. I
Central Plaza
I
will
don't
be a
know.
mess at 12.
Yeah,
That's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem.
there is
Like, everyone
no
will go.
way, no matter what you do, people will stand on Central Plaza at midnight. You could turn all the
But
lights off
you're
and
still
people would
going
stand
to. But you also have the potentially bad optics of the hotel bars being crowded, because you know that people are going to be in that hotel
Close the
that night
bars.
because they've already booked it. So you're going to confine people to their room.
there. Yeah,
Like, that's a crazy idea as well. But you can't do that either.
I don't think they have the option. Honestly, I don't think the hotel bars will be open at midnight. I think they'll close at regular times because they probably won't want to pay the hotel cast extra, because they have to pay them extra money and pay for taxis and things for them to run it. I don't personally think they'll keep the park open until midnight, because you have all the operational cast, all the guest floor cast. That's a massive amount of money to spend
No one's
extra,
there.
because they have to pay them like double time or something, right? And then they have to pay like taxis for them all to go home after a certain hour and stuff.
Yeah,
like...
but you can't say to people who are going at the most expensive time of the year, because New Year's Eve is expensive, whatever way you look at it, that sorry, you're going to have to be in your hotel room. That's
But
that's
then,
just
like,
not
how
going
many
to happen.
will be
People
in
are
the
going to
hotel rooms?
congregate
Because
somewhere.
How many international guests are they actually going to have?
Exactly, the hotels will be empty because
You know,
DLH is
there's a
always
potential that it
filled.
won't. If people are going to go, it's going to be that night. Like, if people are going to keep their reservations, that's probably the time they're going to keep.
Yeah.
I've not seen a single.
I mean, I have a reservation, and I would like to go, but I'm really waiting to see what they do,
Don't want a
because
bad time.
if they don't open that night, like, I'm not spending my evening
yeah, no way,
in a hotel.
no way.
You know?
No.
Whether a Disney hotel or
Any
a non-Disney hotel, and probably you won't be able to go around Lake Disney. They've already announced that there's not going to be anything at Disney
Sarah's
Village and
like,
Lake Disney.
Oh, I'm sure they'll
Um,
close the. I'm sure they'll close the lake down. Like, I'm sure they'll close Disney Village down.
Yeah.
Because
So,
otherwise, people would
yeah.
congregate in Disney Village at the bars and things. Like,
but they need to tell people.
Yeah.
They need to tell people what is happening,
Yeah.
and like maybe. I mean, I love the idea of having like a super exclusive night
Mm-hmm.
that is going to cost like €200 and have only like 2,000 guests or something,
Mm-hmm.
which would mean that it would be very easy to control. But
they
I
probably
don't know if they
wouldn't.
would go that way and doing something super exclusive and expensive.
Mm.
I mean, I would pay it, but
I'd pay that for that.
Well, I think if we're still having this conversation this time next month, then they've failed. Like,
I think
they will
we
have
might be,
failed.
to be honest.
I understand that they don't know what's
Yeah.
happening. that's not their fault. But eventually, a decision will have to be made.
When's the point of no return? Like,
well, you look at sort of even places like London. So London have already said we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, people have to be told about what's happening.
So don't get a hotel and don't plan to travel to London for New Year's if you don't live here.
Yeah.
It's quite clear.
Yeah.
And so Disney is going to have to make a decision.
And
if they are doing a special event, then they need to announce it to sell it, and it's going to sell out really quickly, and it's going to be expensive.
Right, and I know Disneyland Paris have their
hours,
I know Disneyland Paris have their Zen guarantee, but you can't say to someone 7 days in advance, yeah, nothing's happening. Like, that's not acceptable.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I think we'll probably be in the same place next month.
We're nearly at the 60 days to go mark, so that's 2 months.
Yeah,
they need to have communicated this before the 60-day mark. Like, it has to be by the end of the month.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll know soon.
Yeah.
And I mean, next year is very much up in the air. I hope we get like a fun summer season, maybe.
It feels really unlikely at this stage.
Depends on vaccines and travel and So I hope we get like some Chocobo Jive or maybe some sort of
I don't know.
something,
Even if they do like what we were saying
For-
before about just running them down Main Street on the cars and things like that, like you can do like the format of what they've got now. They can retheme that to be like Lion King or Jungle themed. I think.
I don't know. I think
hoping-
the news from Burbank about D23 Expo tell you everything about what Disney expect next summer to look like.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think like definitely 2021 is mostly a write-off for Disney, and we'll be lucky if we get a Halloween and Christmas back to normal. Most likely Christmas and Halloween, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't think so.
But let's see. Let's see.
They've cancelled Expo, which sort of tell you that they think this isn't happening.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with the Expo is that if you're going to come in August, you have to start booking in May.
Like we
Max.
would already have
And
booked
they think
by now.
that in May, we won't know enough about what's happening. Yes.
Right, but the Disneyland
Disneyland
Paris summer season begins in June.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So if we're
You're
not going
right.
to know enough in May, then we're definitely not going to know in June.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy.
So
Well,
it's not looking good. I don't think for summer next year. But strangest things have happened, I guess. Right?
They could pull something off, last minute, some kind of show, some kind of adaptation, some kind of something like, if things suddenly look better, they could probably like pull off some meta dance on
that
the
would be
stage
nice.
or something, something fun. I'm sure.
Just bring in Lucky.
Again, Disneyland Paris always thrives in adversity, so I'm sure whatever 2021 throws at them, they'll, the creatives,
We've
they
moved.
can be a pain in the ass, but they're also quite great.
We've moved
in
forward
many ways.
quite a bit. If you look from the point of reopening, where there was literally like nothing, we had characters waving on train station and selfie spots, and that was it. If you look at that compared to now, when realistically it isn't that much more time, we've come quite far away in like the diversification of like products which you can offer and like the shows that you can put on. The fact that they're running that Ursula show as well, obviously while it's very finding its feet still. It's a stage show. It's a
Halloween has
it's a
so
2
much.
minute stage show, but it's a stage show. So who knows? Like, do you know what I mean? At this time by summer, they're still learning how to control people and how to adapt people in like in these environments and things. So the more knowledge that they get for the longer period that we're doing this, it maybe can open a bit more new avenues for like different shows and different things. It's how much you can learn to adapt and how much you can like control people. That's what it is. It all comes down to guest flow at the end of the day. Like that is literally it. Like how would you control people?
It's not just guest flow. It's going to be government restrictions as well, because if it gets bad during the winter, then
that's the only issue.
Disneyland Paris, as much as we love it, it's not an essential place. If you're going to close something, it's going to be places like that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Winter will be
learning and
fascinating.
adapting, I think, is what they're doing, and
They're doing well at it.
I
so
know
far.
it's quite. I know things are really busy at Team Disney, and it's always a challenge. Like every day, it's something different, something new, and they're trying their best. So. Obviously, right now it's a bit tough with less and less people who can visit, even from Paris.
Yeah.
So
But hey.
tough times. But hey, you know what?
doing
I
good.
think I think and I think the approach is to really try to keep
As
a
much-
minimum decent offering
Yeah,
and just
definitely.
ride out the storm for
Yeah.
as much as they can, and so and adapting, and hopefully things will turn around. So yeah,
But things will look better once these travel quarantines are starting to be lifted, and who knows when that's going to be, because it doesn't look like Europe's doing great right now.
yeah,
But I think if you look at what even the scientists are saying, and imagine summer's not that great next year, but they're kind of saying that it's usually better in spring than it is in winter.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So
Definitely.
you could start seeing potentially things building up again in spring next year.
That's it.
And,
If you look,
even if you're wearing masks and you're distancing still, hey, at least you got your trip, right?
look at where we
Yeah.
were when we visited for the reopening. It feels like a different
Yeah.
world compared to what we're in now, in the sense of like all the restrictions and things like that. Things were like not
Yeah.
relaxed, but it was a bit more flexible. Like it felt quite safe in the sense of like travel and things like that. Whereas now it kind of feels a little bit different. But hopefully, post winter, we can get back to kind of hopefully being more where we were there. Because like Jeff said, winter's always a challenge. It was always going to be a challenge. I think everyone expected it to maybe not as bad as it's been or getting, but winter was always going to be like a hurdle. But once we're clear from that, I think let's take it one step at a time from there.
we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't
I'm not
know.
a-
They don't
I'm
know.
not a
We don't know.
scientist.
Everyone's gonna
Welcome
try
to
their
the science
best.
corner.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna try their best to deal with this whole mess.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Eventually we'll get out the other side, and I think that's kind of the main
Yeah.
point to take. Like,
Yeah.
we'll listen
it
back
will
to
end.
this. We'll listen back to this one podcast and be like, "Remember
When we're
October
sitting
2020?"
outside
Yeah.
Oh my
Parallel.
10 years.
Do you remember our
Yeah.
2020 preview, and we were like, well, this year is going to suck.
Oh god, yeah.
10 years from now,
I'm
man,
gonna
when we
go
look
back
at
and
this,
listen to the old
when we're,
episodes.
in the parks as normal in 10 years' time, we look back on this like crazy, man. Like,
Hopefully when
so
me and
crazy.
Ben are recording on our
Out the
bench.
lake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or bench around the lake. Oh, boy.
I'll be on the
One
rocking
day,
chair
one day.
on the porch.
If
and
the
just,
lake doesn't get cancelled.
Be like, remember
Maybe
that
I'll
podcast?
have mobile ordered a churro, and it will still be new. It'll be like,
You'll order it.
mobile
You'll
order
order it
now.
by thinking about it because Disney will have
It's
microchipped your brain.
2026, the news of the year.
You think about a churro. You'll be sat at home with a VR headset on, pretending you're in Disneyland.
oh, don't say it.
go. No, don't go there.
Disney Plus, new Disney Plus Plus Plus.
Yeah. So we promised you another version of Halloween Lo-Ween.
I'm so
and I
sorry.
think we're gonna play
I'm
that to end
so
the
But at least it's
show.
not the racist
Hurry up,
version.
my
Yeah.
AirPods are dying.
No, it's
You
the
can look that up yourself if you want to listen to the Asian vibes version of It's Halloween Lo-Ween.
yeah. Just don't. But we're not gonna play it. But we're gonna play the techno version,
Yeah.
which features the chipmunk, I think,
don't
or someone
know.
pretending to be. It's a mess.
This was an
It's a hot
official
mess, and-
album sold in the park during Halloween 2005. So like the reggae one, like fair enough, like that's kind of crazy. But what you're about to hear was an official album song sold in a Disney park for Halloween. Mummy, mummy, I want the parade music. Okay, little Timmy, let's go buy this CD.
Timmy.
Skips to track 5. Ooh, techno. And what you're about to
Yeah.
witness is,
And it is not the nice. It is not like the fancy Electroland.
no,
type
no,
of
no.
techno.
This is like Berlin, Bergenheim, 4 a.m. in the
This is
morning,
like some
sweating with your
dude
top
on
off.
his keyboard.
This is what Vessel Cyrili in his little studio above Small World thinks techno is. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Well, now we're dropping names. All right. So, guys, it was great to be back on a recorded podcast, and
This was
like we're
fun.
just back with a, yeah. So the live shows were really great, but this was also really fun, and I'm gonna have a lot of work editing all of this with all the crap you've said. I have to
I
edit
know,
out,
you're gonna
especially
have
you,
to take up my
Richie.
whole rant about
About beep. Okay. All right. So
I
we're
miss
gonna play.
Speedos.
It's Halloween. I'm just pretending not to hear. We're gonna play It's Halloween Lo-Ween techno version. Get ready. Your ears are not ready. Lower the volume. Maybe it's gonna hit you in the face. And we'll see you next month. And next month we'll be talking about Christmas launch,
Yay.
which
Standby
will have
pass.
happened by then, and everything that's happened in between.
Maybe
Standby
no
pass.
more order at this rate.
Maybe New Year's Eve, hopefully. And all that stuff. So thank you guys for being on the show. And thank you everyone for listening, for downloading, for retweeting, supporting, everything. And we will see you next month. All right, it's Halloween Lo-Ween techno version. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.